listen to is on the horizon.
Jolly good day, everyone. Welcome to the International Youth Engagement Conference 2020, aka IYoung20. My name is Kemilia Nur Azlan, and I am 19 years old, pursuing diploma in broadcasting journalism. I am also the secretary of the Student Representative Council in Geomatika University College, who turns out to be also your moderator for this entire conference from 18 to 19 November. First and foremost, thank you for joining this conference to lend us your ear over our interesting topic. The head topic of this conference is Youth Engagement Towards a Resilient Community During Pandemic. And youths from all around the world have been called to discuss branches of this topic, where the branches are divided into a total of 8 webinars. Now, let me introduce and welcome you, our panelists for this conference. We also have a special guest and a keynote speaker with us, so stay tuned. Firstly, we have our first panelists, Pearl Hasletaunan and Putri Intan Sara Azhar from Geomatika University College, Malaysia. Next, we have Jinima Lin from University College Sabah, Malaysia. After that, we have Kamarul Najwa from Geomatika College Keningau, Sabah, Malaysia. Next, we have Lina Maruf from Tunis Business School, Tunisia. After that, we have Fatia Ulfa from the University of Queensland, Australia. Next, we have Mark Andre Taunan Bertolano from Polytechnic University of Philippines. Lastly, we have Mastura Darek from Vincent Paul University in Lublin, Poland. As for our keynote speaker, Prof. Said Helmi bin Said Abu Bakar, Vice Chancellor of Geomatika University College. Without further ado, let's begin to our first webinar with our first panelists, Pearl Hasletaunan and Putri Intan Sara Azhar, to begin their presentation on the topic, Jobs for Youth in the post-COVID-19 era. All right. Hi, Pearl.
Hello.
Good morning. I hope you have a great morning. And also, hi to Putri Intan Sara Azhar. How have both of you been?
Great.
Okay. I know it's early in the morning and everyone is like yawning and really tired, but I'm really excited to hear from your presentation. I'm pretty sure once we present and discuss our own topics, we will feel more freshened up throughout the day. Okay? All right. So without further ado, our first presentation will be Pearl, right?
Yes.
Okay. So please let us see your slide. All right.
Okay, so good morning, and today I'll be presenting the first part of the webinar 1, which is Jobs for Youth in the post-COVID-19 era.
All right. Interesting topic because I lost my job.
Yeah.
Okay, continue.
So, like Cam, there's a lot of youths that are already working in minimum wage, and I mean like lost their job, especially that for the youths that are already working in minimum wages, like before the COVID, imagine what they're going through right now. Yeah. So it's a hard time, and
Agreed.
the competition, the job hunt right now is very competitive. So yeah, it's not especially it's like for working students, the students who need to pay their tuition fees, the independent youths that are supporting their families. Those are the very in the situation that are very hard right now.
Correct.
That are facing financial crisis right now. So with with this, youths can the jobs that youths. So with the jobs that youths can apply during the lockdown. I'm sorry.
Okay, it's all right.
So there are, based on my studies, were like research with the like job hunt websites like Job Street, Indeed.
Yeah.
There's more. So the most right now in the markets are like graphic designers, call centers, IT support, read proofing, deliveries,
Right.
tutors, business and marketing. I believe one of us, I think one of like Amelia, I think is doing like read proofing. Huh?
Yeah, reproofing. Well, you're doing graphic designers, if I'm not mistaken.
See, so like in today's market, it's like youths actually have a lot of talents. They can actually also improve right now with availability of online classes and stuff. So it's like they can learn these things also at home before when they want to apply for these jobs, they can learn first. And so this is a good time actually for them to get their skills up. So like youths can obtain higher education. Okay, so first, there are colleges. Youths worry about how they can continue study, like learning with the pandemic right now, and how the fees. So with the pandemic, actually, most of the colleges are offering reduced tuition fees.
Yes.
So like
Right.
there are huge universities that now they're opening their doors to international with like reduce, like how when we apply for colleges but we cannot we have to pay for this, we have to pay for that, like English fluency and
Understood.
stuff. Yeah, actually with the offerings right now with the colleges, they have like programs that you don't actually have to go through this. They have the programs that you just go continue with their classes and stuff. So not only that, they have reduced fees as well. So this is like the opportunity for students to get higher education from big names universities. Like, so yeah, this is like one of the chance. Even though we are right now facing financial crisis, like students who can afford to do so, they can. And there are also scholarships right now from these colleges. So I think we should take advantage of this situation right now.
Okay.
So as I said earlier about the skills, so there are
Alright.
these skills actually, like when you go for a job interview, they will ask you what skills do you have, can you show some of your skills, or like they can actually see how the way you talk, the way you
Yeah.
are like your confidence
You mean
level is.
languages? Body language and linguistics?
Yes.
Okay,
So-
understood.
So right now with like online platforms, they're offering courses to teach you to
What type
improve
of-
on your. Sorry.
What type of courses you're talking about, actually?
Okay. So I check all of these websites that I put here actually. So
Okay.
they have Allison courses, for example. They actually have various courses like how to become what's that?
How to become
Project manager, like that. Like how do you
okay.
do that? It's not like the position project manager. I mean like how your management skills are. And
leadership skills, you mean?
yeah, like Future Learn, they have right now like how you can improve your English, such as also British Council. And they will
Yeah.
give free certificates for these websites. Like Harvard University, it's very hard to get classes from Harvard University, especially if you're from other countries, right? So it's like in this time they're actually offering courses that they will give you certificates. So I actually have examples of this certificate right now. So
Sure,
this
why
is
not?
one of the certificates. So
Is that a Harvard one?
yes.
So you
So-
went to one of the classes despite having
Yeah.
difficulties in Japan. Wow.
Yes, I actually
You're like
went
that
for
1% out
25
of
classes.
99%. Whoa. Oh my goodness.
Like I was like taking advantage of this situation. This is your only time you can actually get a certificate from this.
Right.
So yeah, and then like I actually have certificates from all of these because I was researching and studying all of them. Like I always try to find the best way to improve myself.
You're an opportunity.
Because not yes, like you can actually use these certificates for your future. Like yeah, when I said for job hunting market, like not only that you get to improve your skills, but you can use their certificates to show like proof of like you studied this, you learned this, you took the initiative to improve yourself.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. So uh, I have to mention the colleges that are actually offering courses right now for free, webinars for free, such as also our college. They have a
Okay,
lot of
sure. It'll be
webinars.
helpful.
Yeah, like this right now. What we have the event right now, we are actually offering certificates. So that's
Okay.
good. We are exchanging ideas and we get something also.
You mean this entire conference?
Yeah.
Yes, yes. Okay.
So next
Okay.
is ways being virtually participating and updated with events that can help you. So okay, so there are activities right now. It's hard for us to say that we can join these activities, we can join the activities, because right now most of our activities we are like locked down,
Yeah.
right? So we have online activities, but I think like this is
Yeah.
also another opportunity like for us, like to join these competitions. Some of us are like in person, we are like shy and we have anxiety to be in a
Yeah.
crowd or competitions like
It honestly
physically.
forces us. Yeah. It honestly forces us to
So
come out from our shell and actually
mhm,
approach to a different platform and do things that we've
yes,
never done before. That's the
yeah,
positive side of that's the positive side of this entire pandemic.
yeah. We have to find the positive
Continue.
side of everything. So,
Exactly.
so
We have to.
like for me right now, I'm very like I always research about the opportunities where I can actually uh, like help out, even though it's online. Like United Nations, I think, are right now offering volunteering works but virtually. There are
Oh,
also like the US Embassy.
okay.
Yeah,
Can
US
you
Embassy
elaborate
here in
more on
Malaysia.
that?
So they have like graphic design stuff, like how you can help by designing this, like because when you do
Oh,
a graphic design job, like you have to pay for some people's, but there
right,
are
right.
like non-profit organizations that are like asking for help. And so this is like your opportunity to show your talent. You can see how, because if you want like if you're volunteering, you don't expect people don't expect too high of you. So when you're doing this kind of design skills for free, like, okay, I should show my skills, and then maybe I could see if
Create
this
networking.
works. Then
Create
yeah,
networking.
maybe I can
Yeah.
see how I will apply this if I apply for a job. How I can see how I improve myself more. Okay, so
Understood.
like for these competitions also, they can practice their public speaking skills. There are events like you can also like competitions like debating online, public speaking online competitions, example Model
Yes.
United Nations. So it will help you to become more confident, more on research stuff. So you're like you get right now. This is your time to study everything about some certain
Yes.
topics. Yeah, so it's like this is also your chance to broaden your network
It
virtually.
gives us the chance to have more time at home because all we do is sit at home,
Yeah.
right? Usually,
So you
most
get
of
to
the
meet
time, people,
people.
yeah, meet people. Correct.
Yeah, you get
Continue.
to meet more people from your home. So the internet's
Virtually,
lagging,
lah.
sorry. Yeah,
It's all right.
virtually. Okay,
All right.
with the word virtual right now, virtual internships for youths. So,
Okay.
this is actually my favorite part
All right.
because I'm actually applying for like virtual internship for youths right now.
Virtual internship. Because you're
Yeah.
going into practical, right? I've heard.
Yeah, I'm actually next year. Yeah, next year on May.
Ooh. Okay.
So,
No wonder it's your favorite topic. You're about
yeah,
to go
this is
in
my
there.
favorite topic. I want to show my talent.
Oh, of course.
So, yeah. So I
Okay.
think like Camelia, you're very interested in this kind of stuffs like anything virtual or where you can improve your
Broadcasting.
skills. Or okay, the thing about virtual internships is you get to work with big name companies like
Hmm.
Microsoft, JP Morgan, Citibank, KPMG, Commonwealth Bank, Accenture. So they are not like so you
Why
can
do you say
actually
that?
do
Why do you say
like
that it's a big opportunity to join big companies like that? What do you see
okay.
actually?
So when you're applying for a job, there will
Okay.
always see what like your experiences, right?
Okay.
Okay, so which companies also. The thing is, you get to work, like when I'm saying that this is an opportunity to work with name companies, because like with these big name companies, they will give you some tasks that are like that will be very helpful in the future, especially that these companies are doing a lot right now in this community. We know them, that they're like Microsoft.
Okay.
Which student doesn't use Microsoft right now? So like when you say that you are like you have an internship with Microsoft, that
Okay.
will give an impression to an employer already.
Oh, okay, okay.
So yeah, when you apply for job, you took the initiative to get to improve your skills first with internships, to work with these employers, to work even though these internships are like their tasks are already pre-planned for you,
Okay.
but at least you know that if I
You
can
know
do
the
this
gist of
task,
the entire thing. You know the gist of this
yeah,
company.
that's
Yes,
that's it.
understood. You're
So like
welcome.
thank you. So like when you get to like get yourself comfortable with this, like when you apply for a job, you're like more confident and you get to put
Hmm.
this in your CV. So
Understood.
yeah.
All right.
So okay, that's all from me.
Q&A.
So now it's
Okay, I will ask the questions. I will ask the questions. So before we get into the questions that I want to give you, is there anybody, any audiences here who would like to ask the questions? You may leave any questions down in the comments below. Okay, while we wait for the rest of the audiences to maybe ask one question, I will ask you one question, Pearl. Are you ready?
sure.
Okay. In your opinion, what certificates are important when you apply for a job?
Okay, certificates are important because when you apply for a job, you say you have the skills. But okay, in some employers, they won't go much on that. Okay, you know this, okay, you know that. But in most situations, you want to prove that you have those skills by having those certificates. You show these certificates. Maybe
It's proof.
also not on yeah, you don't only like not only for applying job, when you want to further your education. This is also to find like to for scholarships and stuff, right?
Yes,
So
you
this
mentioned to me
is
sometimes, MUN certificates, they're globally recognized, right?
yes.
Okay, okay, understood. That's your answer?
Yes.
Okay. Moving on to the next question. Will you be applying to any virtual internship soon? Like,
I am currently
I
applying.
currently applying, but is there
Yeah.
any success so far?
Actually, already I was supposed to start from the for the Microsoft one, but I'm right now I have the final presentation, so I will finish that first, and I will continue. I will
Okay, so it's still
start that.
pending. Okay,
Yeah.
never mind then. Continuing, which kind of degree do you think is more preferred by an employer? A degree obtained physically from a small local institution or an online degree from a well-known institution? And why?
Okay. So there's two sides of that. It depends mostly on the employer. So okay, but for me right now, if you take this degree from online, they understand the situation right now. It's a pandemic. So from a well-known, not just because it's a online degree doesn't mean it doesn't hold the value as much as the uh, physical degree that we have. The Because you will still have the lecturers, you still be graded, you still so having these online degrees actually it's still not
Still
only
valid?
you keep yourself safe, yeah, so it's still valuable. So I still prefer these online degrees for now with this pandemic. It depends on the situation actually. But if you can get a physical degree, it's you have a more hands-on experience.
So you're trying to say that, okay, maybe we can put local institution and well-known institution aside, okay? You're trying to say that if you have physical classes, physical activities and stuff like that, it'd be so much better than digital certificates where everything is learned online. I see. Okay. I have one question for myself. Do you think there's a lot of competition for scholarships right now?
Yes.
Why?
To be honest with you, with the grading system right now, like everything is online. So when you
Yes.
do an exam online, you have like the opportunities for students to research, like to while they're taking the exam, they can actually
Is it an open book
research
exam?
and yeah, it's like they can actually like yeah they can like it's an open book exam. They can just look up the answers, but except if it's like like a theory, like you have to explain something that's based on your opinion. So like the thing right now is for me, even I'm not satisfied because I'm a very competitive person. So like when they talk about studies getting like everyone like this is your opportunities to actually get a good grade, meaning you can there's a lot of ways you can actually improve your grades right now,
Yeah,
that
correct.
like when you go for a scholarship, like almost everyone will have the same grade, so it's very hard to
Yeah,
compete with everyone right now. So your only way is to actually show proof of your skills by, like I said
correct.
before, internships, like to show that you have something like better. Maybe if your grade is beaten like by somebody else, at least you have like your skills, your certificates to show proof that you did,
Correct.
like you try your best, you are trying until now.
True. I also think that when you do open book exam, okay, everyone will get A, like a list of student A. But
Yeah,
when you see an A, you're not sure if that student is compatible or not in terms of leadership
right.
skills, that thing. On paper is easy, but in the real
Yeah,
world, it's very
but
difficult.
I have to give credit to those students who are like their classes are like practical ones right now.
Yes,
Architecture, like graphic designs. Okay,
I've heard.
that's not really, yeah, it's not
I had a
easy.
friend. I had a friend who also goes for interior design. There are some
Mm-hmm.
classes she had to postpone that they could not have the online class because it doesn't make sense. Practical classes cannot go for online, and it was so
Yeah.
difficult for her. But even so, she put through. Even so, you pushed through as well. Dean's
Yeah,
list,
like
everyone.
last semester, I think like practical students, they had to push it for 2 months, extra 2 months or 1.5 month, like that. It was tiring, man.
It's okay.
So,
I think there is one question. There's one question over there from Putri Intan Diana Asha. Hi, may I know how long it would take to enroll classes to enhance our skills development, such as the one you have? Do you understand the question?
yes.
Okay.
Wait. Just to clarify, this is about the classes, like online classes that I said before, like courses, the free courses that I
Yes.
said before. Okay.
Okay.
Surprisingly, they don't really take very long. You can actually do it within one day. And like Harvard classes, they're only like for like 40 minutes. And yeah,
Okay.
like for future learn, so they have like this week, you can do it for 3 weeks. But for me, I like to finish, you can actually finish it for like 3 days. If you know, like you have a time management, you can actually finish these courses within 3 days, because it depends on how long you want to do it. Like it depends on your own schedule, you can just finish it anytime you want.
But honestly, okay. On behalf of Putri Intan Diana Asha, I would like to ask some questions as well. For example, okay, we do virtual classes. You say maybe in 1 or 2 days we can actually absorb everything virtually, right? It depends on certain classes. It depends on
Yeah,
classes. Like,
depends on
okay, can you
subjects.
elaborate on that, please?
Okay, for example, Allison courses. I will give you a tip right now. Allison courses does it, like there are free
Listen courses.
certificates. Yeah, Allison courses is very
Okay.
good actually. It's very, very good. So they
May I
have
know what
a
is that
wide range
actually?
of.
'Cause I'm not sure what is that.
Okay, Allison courses is actually like a certificate. They have certificate classes, so they will
Okay.
have like, if like they have wide range of classes, like from architecture, landscape, interior design, diploma in interior design. They
Oh,
have it, and so their courses actually, like, it depends on what kind of course. Like if it's a diploma course, then it will take longer. But if it's like a certificate course, then it's like it will take like about 1 to 2 days. So it depends how fast you want to go through the modules. So it's not only like if you can understand everything at just one time, like what like every class you have, you like, or you open each class, then you understand everything, then it's actually you can just finish very fast. So like these courses, like Allison courses, they have the courses are very, very like detailed. They have safety and health courses. Like when I
correct,
studied the
correct.
safety and health courses, they actually go through like ergonomics, like because I have a cousin who's studying in safety and health, diploma in safety and health. So it's like when I took the classes for safety and health online, like what the subjects she told me about, they actually have it there. So
Mm,
like not only like if you're a student right now, you're studying that, you can actually study this first, and you will have an great understanding of your subject more.
okay, understood. Thank you very much for answering Putri Intan Diana Asa and my question on behalf. There's another question given by the same
Sure.
person. It says, and how does the certification really show that we are certified by just doing it virtually?
Okay. I'll give an. So this is Allison courses and Future Learn. There's another one is Bit Degree. Okay, these courses they actually have for Allison courses they actually have QR codes. Wait, I'll give the. They actually have a
Okay.
QR code. So like if you like every certificate, when you have the QR code, you can actually when you scan the QR code, they can actually
Oh,
see your profile exactly with your picture. It's like a resume straight, and they will show you how
okay.
long you took the class.
Understood,
So, and
understood.
what subjects and each
There's
like
a verified,
subtopics, topics.
so
Yes,
there's
it's
a
very verified.
verified website where you scan the QR code and it will show entire details.
Yes.
Ah, okay, okay, okay.
So
All right, understood.
you should
So I
start.
think,
You should start people.
okay. All right, so I think part one of this topic, jobs for, what is it again? Jobs for youth during this pandemic. For part one, it's over. So now we will move to part two for Putri Intan Sara Azha. Hello.
Hi.
Okay, so can you please share your screen and your slide, please?
Okay.
So, dear audiences, I know you guys are watching. So, if you have any question, do not hesitate to leave the questions below the live comments down below. We will definitely look through it and we will ask on behalf of you. Okay?
Cam, can you see my slide?
Hold on. Not really. We can't see it.
Oh.
There's a share screen below. You can click on that. Just to let everyone know, the speakers here, they're very talented, very interesting, in my opinion. Pearl Hasley Taunan is actually my vice president for Student Representative Council. I'm the secretary. And as for Putri Intan Sara Azha, she's, first and foremost, she's a makeup artist. Second is she's the president as well for the Student Representative Council. So having them to speak with me first is very honored. Can you share it?
I already shared, but can you see?
Can't really see it. Why don't you try it again? Unshare it. Press share screen. There are so many comments here. It's interesting. I'm pretty sure they're like all around the world. Who's Have you shared the screen yet?
Yeah, I already shared, but I don't know why people can't see my.
When you press share, did you send click on Chrome tab?
Yeah,
Chrome
yeah.
tab.
I already click it.
Try again. Putri Intendena, as I said, take your time. Thank you so much. This is one of the many difficulties actually in virtual. While Sarah takes her time, I will talk with the audiences. Yes, there may be. Thank you for the consideration again, Putri. Maybe there are some technical issues. Definitely during rehearsal, it was very smooth, but sometimes we never know what happens, right? So we will take our time. Can or not?
Cannot.
Still can't?
Why?
When you press share screen, press Chrome tab, okay? Chrome tab or whichever you prefer. Okay, audiences, we try to deal with most of the technical issues that's ongoing right now. I want to share with you guys the topics that we will talk about. So of course, it says youth engagement towards resilience community during pandemic. Okay, then what does that actually mean? Youth engagement towards resilience community during pandemic. Youth engagement, of course, youth these days, they are very active, very proactive youths these days, of course, as you can see. So how do you want to engage towards a resilient community, to a community that is practically immune or already has adapted to a community during a pandemic? So we have a total of 4 webinars, and this is the first one we're going on with. So the second webinar will be with Philippine students. I'm not going to tell the name yet. You will see. The topic will be pandemic poses challenges for youth villages. This is a very interesting topic, as in Malaysia, there was this one student called Viviana who had so much trouble trying to undergo her courses due to Wi-Fi instability, the difficulty of trying to get any internet connection, as she also lived in a village. But her determination is skyrocketing. She will build a hut, or she will be a hut around in the hilly terrains over there, just so they could try to get the best internet access to study, to do exam. So this topic is related to complications of young adults trying to transition to an independent living during this pandemic. Sarah, could you share the slide yet?
I see.
Oh, is it that? All right, should we begin the presentation now, Sarah?
Okay. Yes.
All right, okay. First and foremost, we can just relax. This is a really cool, and we call it in Malaysia, santai talk. Santai talk is something where we just talk normally. It's just a normal discussion, okay? So we can just take it slow, and we will see how it goes, okay?
Okay.
All right, so you can start your presentation now. What's the topic? Can you explain the topic a little bit?
Okay, my topic is about the possible jobs in COVID-19 era.
Okay.
Which means okay. Okay. Wait.
You mean, okay, from what I understand, about the possible jobs in COVID-19 era, meaning we need to possible jobs. You mean any jobs that we can have? You mean online businesses? We cannot
Yeah,
go to
any
shops.
job that
It's
any
online.
job that can help you to gain experience or money with during this pandemic. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Do you want to go to the next slide?
Yeah.
You can go for the next slide. Okay. Online
Okay,
businesses.
Firstly, I would recommend you to start with online business because online business is a platform that we don't need any capital, or we do
Capital.
yeah.
Okay.
For example, if we being a dropship
Okay.
in
Dropship.
for-
Dropship during
for
the pandemic lah. You mean you do dropship online? Okay.
Yeah, if we doing dropship online, we don't need any capital or any stock. We don't
Because-
need to keep any stock.
Because
So
they
we
provide
just,
it already, right?
they provide
don't
it
have to
already.
spend
So
anything.
we just need to promote all the stuff. So from there we can gain experience on promoting or
Marketing.
on more to
Marketing.
marketing lah. Okay. So
Okay. Next. Oh, that's what you said. Can you go back to the first slide? I read something I'm quite interested about. It says build up social media platform for businesses. Do you have that experience before? You're a makeup artist, right? So what can you apply your makeup skills and
Okay, currently I'm doing makeup artist and I'm doing makeup as my part-time job, and I'm also doing some small business as an agent and master stockist and all the stuff. So like me, I build up some social media platform like Instagram, Facebook, and from there I promote all the stuff that I sell and all the services that I do. So from there, I can gain lots of money, and I can meet up various people.
Yes,
like
understood.
that.
Understood. Okay, we will move on. Second
Okay,
slide was
so-
about dropship. I saw. That's what you mentioned just now, right?
Yeah, that's what I mentioned just now. Okay, so
Okay.
key in database system for company and telemarketing. Like nowadays, many people are searching for they are searching for many. They are searching for like
Information, data.
anyone that can do database system.
Oh.
That can help them in their company.
They need to record data and everything, like the sales,
so-
stocks.
So from there we can be more expert in what we call
Data keying, data managing. Understood? Understood.
like that lah.
Okay, continue.
So next,
Soft skills.
soft skills learning. As we can see, nowadays people like many youth lack of confidence lack of confidence or any soft skills
Those
in
are
yourself.
esteem. Okay. Understood? No, means youth these days, they don't really have the soft skills. They don't know how to improve themselves. That's what I mean.
Yeah. Many people don't know how to interact to each other or anything else.
Sure.
So by doing soft skills, for example, doing online classes based on the skills we have. For example, like me, I have what we call like I know I have the knowledge on how to make up people. I know the knowledge of how to dress up people, something like that. So I create a platforms. I create an online class so that they can learn from me. So
Understood.
okay.
Pursue
So
online learning.
so
Sorry, I was reading that slide. I understand what you're saying.
okay, so furthermore, we can also pursue online learning. For example, like Pearl, she is expert on graphic design, so we can learn from her. So we can,
Correct.
so that we can gain many experience and many skills. So when we go outside, we can have like we have
Experience.
more skills.
Lessons.
That
Yes, understood what you're saying. Do you personally, this is my personal question. Since you know makeup and everything, I've seen you do makeup. I've seen you post your clients' makeup results. Looking fabulous like that on your Instagram. Do you ever think of doing classes, makeup classes virtually? There's a lot of YouTube gurus and over there like that. I know, but have you ever thought of teaching your local students your ways of doing your own style of makeup?
Yeah, before this, I already do makeup online class, but not virtual, face to face. So for now, I'm planning to do virtual makeup class lah. I'm open for anyone who want to join my like that.
So it's a pending plan. It's a future plan. Okay.
Yeah, it's a
I see.
future plan.
Okay. Next.
Okay. Another one is joint leadership programming. Okay. Joint leadership programming. As we know, when we join any program, we have teammates. So
We have what? We have what?
Teammates.
Teammates. Okay.
Okay.
I heard inmates. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, teammates. Continue.
Okay. From there we can we can strengthen and identify the weakness among us. So when we joining those leadership programming or any CS or volunteering CSR activities, we can as I we can do we will have self-reliance, and we can be more independent on doing our tasks or anything lah, something like that.
Understood.
Okay.
I have a question. What was my question? Right. Okay. So when you do, you said joint leadership programming. Do you think dropship is something like that? Or any type of business? Okay. I'm going to repeat what I asked. Can you hear me? Am I clear?
Yeah.
Okay. So I've tried doing dropship long time ago, but I don't really remember how does it go. But I was told that dropship is something like it tests your leadership skills. Is that true?
Dropship is more to what we call berlatih. It's more to practicing on how to dealing with people and how to market your stuff.
Understood. For everyone's information, berlatih means practice in Malay. Okay, continue. It's okay. Next slide.
For dropship, we have actually we have stages. For example, we have agent and we have dropship. Then we have agent. Then we have stockist, master stockist. Dropship and agent more to practice on dealing with people around. And stockist and master stockist, it is more to leadership lah. How do we need to how we recruit our team, and how we help them to achieve the goals, like that.
Understood. Interesting. Okay, next.
So next, pro and cons on doing business online. The pro, we can be more independent, create a new hobby as a job, learn to face crisis situation or what to do, learn and develop new skills and technology. Okay, so and the cons is the productivity, distraction at home, difficult to secure job, unemployed, stay unemployed. Means that we ourselves are not sure after PKP, after this pandemic, what job we can do. Do you understand what I'm doing?
Yeah, understood. Understood.
Okay.
To face crisis.
I think that's all for me.
Okay, that's all. So there will be a Q&A session, right? You ready for that?
Okay.
I have some questions for you.
Okay.
Okay. We all know that soft skills is so important for you. But how important? I mean, will the youth really go stagnant in life? Or basically what I mean by how important is, if the youth doesn't have that soft skill, or maybe an excellent soft skill, can they still survive in the pandemic?
For me, they can survive, but it is hard for them. It is.
So how important?
For me, it is so important lah, because by having soft skills, we can what do we call, like we can have people confidence, like that. So when we do any task or any work given, we can do it nicely, like that lah.
Okay, understand. Next question. What is your opinion on doing online business?
Okay. Can you repeat the question?
Okay. What is your opinion? What is your opinion when you do online business?
Okay. For me, when we do online business, first we can gain many experience. Like I said, we can have experience on dealing with people. We can gain experience on how to promote our products and all the stuff. And doing online business also is something that we can what we call, like
find opportunities.
We
can find opportunities. That's all?
Okay,
that's all
from me. Yeah.
Okay, wait. That's all from you, but I still got some. Hold on. How does work volunteering allow youth gain experience?
Okay. Okay. For example, when we join social activities, they provide many what we call, like they provide many services.
Lessons? Services. Okay.
So So from there, we can gain experience. We can um, uh,
Yeah, gain experience. Okay, you know what? It goes back to the same thing. When you volunteer
yeah,
for work, it allows you to gain experience such as soft skills, dealing with people, leadership skills, all those things. It goes back to the same thing, right?
yeah,
But I have one personal question. Putri Tan Diana Asa got commented inside. It's not a question, but it made me stir something. In my point of view, she said, in my point of view, during this pandemic, it is depending on how to manage and see how the pandemic can groom our skills. Okay, to simplify it, this pandemic forces us to be better, to come out from our shell. Do you agree with that? Definitely.
yeah.
But
I'm totally agree because many people they can see their talent during this pandemic. They can see that they can do many things. They are expert in many things during this pandemic because uh, when uh,
when you're
this
at
pandemic
home,
when
when
we
you're
are at home, we don't know what to do. Then we come out on something new. So
creative
we
things,
try. Then
mm.
we know that we can do this
Oh,
stuff, something lah.
understood. Mm.
Yeah,
I realized like during the pandemic, a lot of people turned out to be a chef, and I myself, I started to go in the kitchen. I started to cook some stuff, and I'm like, whoa, Gordon Ramsay will approve it. I'm pretty sure about that, but maybe that's just an exaggeration. Okay. Anyways, I have one request for you. Okay, can you, because your presentation, it seems to be very business ethic like you know what you're saying, you know what to do in the business world, you're an entrepreneur, you look like an entrepreneur. So can you please give some business tips to your audiences?
okay, sure. Okay, firstly, if anyone here plan to do online business, we need to aim. We need to have the big why. Meaning,
Big goals,
we
big visions, big future.
yeah, we need to have why we want to do this and what do what are we targeting like that lah. So when we have the big why, we know our um what what we
Our
call
desire,
we know,
desire,
no
like how bad you want it.
no
um
we what I mean
Motivation.
like kita tahu jalan dia. We know
Oh,
the
what she meant by kita tahu jalan dia means she knows what step to take, what precautions to
yeah,
take.
yeah. So
That's
the for me the important is we know the big why on doing this, on doing that. So we know what we need to do after this. So we have our goals like that. So second tips is we need to be disciplined because doing online business is more to for like
it's like a continuous practice, repetitive practice. You buy something, you sell it a little expensive, and then you got to keep repeating, look for customers. That's what you mean by discipline.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay. And
It
the
all goes
third
back to the
one we need, and the third one we need to be patient on serving the customer because because mostly businessmen and businesswomen they don't have the patience on what we call layan customer.
Oh, the layan customer means you deal with the customer. What she's trying
Yeah.
to say is a lot of adults, men and women, they don't have the patience to deal with the customers because maybe there are some customers who are like very curious and so they ask a lot of questions, right? Sometimes customers makes mistake like is, for example, in the Instagram, there's already the answer there, but the customers didn't notice the answer, so they ask the question when the answer is already there. So those are the type of maybe sellers are not really patient to deal with. Is that also one of the factors why the customer doesn't go back and buy their products anymore?
Yeah, it is the main reason. Usually, when they are not patient on dealing with people, usually the customer uh, will not what we call like repeating the orders with
The seller.
the seller or something like that.
All right. So I understand what Sarah is trying to say. So what she's trying to say is during this pandemic, everything is online. So punctuation and grammar is so important. We cannot just simply reply. For example, if you want to reply okay, you got to reply OKAY in a polite one. Maybe you put a smiley face and things like that.
Yeah, emoji, something like that.
You cannot just reply maybe K or OK, just like an O and K and a full stop. It's very intimidating in the text. So I'm pretty sure Sarah Obia is very experienced in business. She's also very heartwarming, very soft, as you can see in her nature as well. And that's a very interesting tips from you. We really appreciate it. During this pandemic, it's always good for business women and men to share their tips on how to do business online. So is that all the points from you?
Yeah, for now.
Okay. Okay. So thank you very much, Pearl. Pearl is somewhere here. Can you put Pearl on? Okay. Yes. Okay. Thank you very much, Pearl and Putri Intan Sarah Asha, for the very nice presentation both of you have given me. It was a great insight. Right now, it comes to an end of webinar 1, but please stay tuned because there will be a second webinar at 11 in the morning. So, yep. Anything else to say, both of you?
Thank you.
Okay. Nothing else, right? Okay. That's all from us. We will see you again at 11 a.m.
See ya.
Bye. All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome back. I hope all of you had a great short break. Most importantly, to stick around until the end of the conference as we have another 7 more webinars. Without wasting any time, let's begin our next webinar with Jinima Lin over the topic, Pandemic Poses Challenges for Youth Villages. COVID-19 complicates young adults transitioning to independent living. So now we will invite Jinima.
Hello.
Hi, Jinima. Hello, good morning. How have you been?
Good morning. I feel good
Can you hear
today.
me?
Yeah,
Can
sure.
you hear me
I can
first?
hear you. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you're clear as well. Okay, so
Right.
first and foremost, can you please introduce yourself to the audiences?
Yeah, sure. A very warm welcome to our participants. Thank you for joining us on today's webinar. My name is Jinima, a 21-year-old international student taking Bachelor of Business Administration, major in banking, and a student leader from North Borneo University College at Sabah, Malaysia.
All right, nice. I've heard you were a part of the SRC team.
Yeah, I am part of the SRC team as a vice president.
Nice. I'm also the secretary of the SRC team in my college. So I hope this communication with us will be able to strengthen our engagement as youths. Okay.
Sure.
All right.
And also
Continuing.
to share
Pardon?
And also to share our knowledge to our fellow youth.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. So without further ado, do you want to start your slides?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
All right. So I decided to discuss this topic because me myself lived in the village before. Although that time there is no pandemic yet, but the struggle is also complex. I am pretty sure that it is more tougher now, especially when it comes to accessibility in transportation, resources, poor internet stability, and underdeveloped school buildings. But
True.
I think in Malaysia, it is more better, right?
Okay, well, in Malaysia, from what I experienced, there are some. We are categorized with this B civilians. We're categorized into levels of financial situation. We have B40, M40, and T20. So B40s are the ones who gets. I'm not really sure, but then it's maybe probably average less than 2,000 ringgit per month. They receive their salary. I mean their income. Yes. So for that. What do you call it? For that category, B40, yes, B40 category, they have a lot of trouble trying to access internet, especially when during this pandemic, it's so difficult to get stable internet. Most of the students, they use hotspot from their smartphones, and that's definitely not that stable as well to do calls and everything. Yes, just like you, I used to also. So you also understand how difficult it is to live with not stable internet, live with very low income. So, but in terms of comparing Malaysia with other countries, I'm not really sure. I don't really get into other countries, but all I can say is there are a lot of difficulties in Malaysia as well.
Yeah, it's the same in every country, right?
High five.
So originally, I asked that before because originally I was born and raised in small village at Briggs Point, Palawan, Philippines. But now I am currently living alone at the heart of Kota Kinabalu. Even I am living now at the city. I would be lying if I say living here is easy. But I was able to grow and learn and to live independently, such as able to manage my finances and do things that will help for my self-growth. That is why
do you do any? Continue. Sorry to cut you off. Continue.
It's okay. That is why I strongly agree that pandemic poses challenges for youth villages, wherein COVID-19 complicates young adult transition to independent living. So
true.
Next slide. So youth, who are they? Where are they? And how are they? According to experts, youth are those who are in a period of transition from the independence of childhood to adulthood independence. Where are they? Youth are everywhere. It is comprised of vast number in our community. To our listeners, please comment down below your country and tell us how you feel right now. I am pretty sure that.
Please do.
Yeah. I am pretty sure that there are youths out there who feel the same way as I do. For example, the same way as I do. If you don't feel that good today, there are some youth out there who are experiencing more worse feelings than you are right now. Whether you feel good or bad, to make it short, youth are experiencing different feelings right now due to this pandemic. So yeah, just like everyone else in the room, after we finish our study in high school, we will apply for scholarship or directly start in college, especially if you are privileged enough. Finding and maintaining employment, applying for medical insurance, learning essential financial skills, and building and maintaining healthy relationships.
Sure. Next slide.
So, yeah. Furthermore, rural youth constitute a vast group that often face both the challenges of age-specific vulnerabilities and those of the underdevelopment of rural areas. It is said that, imagine in 1.2 billion youth, there are nearly 1 billion number of youth, which is youth are told from the range of 15 to 24, wherein most of them are living in lower income countries than higher income countries, and 75 million are unemployed. Imagine how number is that?
Just unimaginable, honestly.
Yeah. So,
Number 2.
who are the vulnerable youths? Firstly, the indigenous youth, or also known as First People, or Aboriginal people, or Native people. That
Oh yes, yes.
yeah, indigenous people.
Mm.
Wherein they live in an interconnected relationship with the environment. It is also worth noting that special rural minorities and vulnerable groups such as
Mm.
youth with disabilities, young migrants, young refugees, girls and young workers 15 to 17 age, international students. For international students, I'm sure they are also experiencing difficulty
Yes,
right now,
yes,
especially
definitely.
when you're especially when you're an Asian and you're in the US. I think there are many news articles referring to that one, that they are experiencing discrimination and racism
Yes,
from this
that's the
from
problem.
yeah, right. So it is
I
one
do
of
have a
the
question for
challenges.
you though.
Yeah,
I do
sure.
have a question for you.
Sure.
You know the indigenous youth, the natives. Do you think?
Yeah.
Do you think? Okay, in this modern era, there's so many technologies and stuff like that. Do you think if we actually cared enough, do you think that indigenous youth exists by now?
Yes, I think
Do you
so.
understand?
But yeah,
Mm,
but not that Manila compared to before, because our world is changing. We are more
mm.
into technology and globalization, right? So
You're right.
I think they are outside also to study and pursue more to make their life better.
Mm. But I think
Um,
this type of youth, they okay. I think these youth, indigenous youth, even if they have the source of education, even if they have a chance to study and such that, I
yeah,
think they will still stay as who they are. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like even if they
yeah,
have the education, if they have that money and stuff like that, they will still be natives, native people and indigenous youth. It's as if they're
yeah,
protecting the Mother Nature itself,
yeah.
honestly.
And also
Okay, continue.
it's on their life already, right?
Yes, it's how they grew up. It's like the
Yeah,
roots of themselves. Understood.
so vulnerable youth also include students with ongoing mental health challenges and illnesses. These are the youths who are experiencing depression, right?
Mm,
We can't
correct.
deny that one. So
Correct.
next slide. So
Okay.
what are the challenges that youth villagers are facing? Rural youth mostly work in the informal sector and more into agricultural side because they are far from cities and also they are living in villages, right?
Yes.
So it is more into farming, fishing like that, and more into and vocational
Occasional. Oh, you
work.
mean they're the type of people who they have to DIY, is it?
Yeah, yeah,
DIY, this kind of stuff. They have to maneuver themselves despite having no internet connection. They have to somehow go to a
yeah.
high place, find internet connection. If they don't have money to do this and that, they have to find a source of income by any means.
Yeah, by
Mm.
especially by physical jobs.
Physical jobs like
Yeah, physical jobs like farming.
right, farming. So they also do. That's the only business they do, farming business and
I mean, more into agriculture. They're living. Their
oh right.
source
Okay,
of living.
understood. Okay,
So
understood.
because um, the villagers are facing that because their access to quality education is very limited. Vocational education and training is often limited by financial barriers.
Can you
Training and
elaborate?
transportation costs. Hello?
Can you elaborate on that? Your just the point just now.
Vocational education and training is for by financial barriers. because since most of them are not working and don't have that high salary, so they cannot cover all the expenses and also the transportation.
Mm,
For the
understood.
non-financial barriers, education and training infrastructure are very limited as well. Because have you ever tried to go to village?
Me.
Yeah.
Okay, I've never been to Malaysian village, but I've been to in Iran. Iran, there's a lot of villages, and although at that time I was in a car, but while going on the road, there was herds of cows and sheep crossing the road, and I thought the car was about to hit any of the animals. But there were so many village people there that they know what they're doing, and this is so traditional. And
It's normal.
when yes, it's so traditional, but at the same time, it looks so normal over there, and I was like surprised. Like, I've never been to this kind of place. I just know it, and I just saw it in the television, and I know it looks as though they're not really in a difficult state. I don't know why. Like, okay, although the situation is not it's not easy, it's a lot
Yeah,
of difficulties.
they are living a simple life, but also because they are contented of what they have.
Yes,
That's
yes.
right.
Exactly. That's what I thought. I was like, wow, they look so content. And then I'm over there in my room, really stressing out over everything that I literally have. Right?
Yeah.
Yes, that's the problem with youth these days. They don't really see the big picture. No matter how much we tell each other that we need to appreciate what we have, we will understand it here, but we will never feel it in by heart until we really go and see that the entire situation by our eyes. That's what I really think.
Although they are in that situation, they still able to look on the positive side and
Yeah.
pursue their lives. So another challenge is the non-financial barrier, which
Okay.
is the inflexible teaching or training schedules, transportation problems. Because if you are in a village, there are less transportation
Access. Like
yeah,
to access.
access.
Mhm.
Mostly
It'll be very far. It'll be very
yeah,
far.
you have to move from one
One place to another.
one place to another, and it will take so much time.
Honestly, understood.
So
I know so many people. I know so many people. So many of my adult friends. They always told me like, I had to walk like about 10 miles to just go to school and come back. Tell me these kind of stories, and they seem to be very proud of that
and then
difficulty.
you'll have yeah, and you'll have to wake up early just to fetch
Yes.
just to ride the bus, public bus. Yeah.
But
So
even though
that's why-
they tell me these kind of stories, at the same time they're proud of it. It's as if it was a really bittersweet memory for them. Really bittersweet.
yeah.
Okay, continue. Do you have any other things to say?
Yeah. So
Okay.
proceed to the next slide.
Okay.
So what are the key policy issues that we need to consider? Firstly, the COVID-19 pandemic has shifted education and vocational education from a more traditional face-to-face learning to online, wherein not everyone has the capability to buy mobile gadgets, have poor internet stability, right?
Right. Correct. I've been there. I had
So,
to.
yeah.
That during semester one, I didn't have a laptop, and I was working part time, and at the same time, assignment due date was like coming insanely fast. So I had to really work extra hard to go to the cyber cafes because my internet at home was also dead. I don't even have a laptop, so I understand really well about having to shift.
Sometimes even if you have the gadget and everything, you have the materials, but when the internet is slow, then you can't do anything as well.
Exactly.
So,
It's also so frustrating for the fact
yeah,
that you will be trying to do, and then at the same time, every time the error comes out, you know that the class is ongoing. You're missing out so many things.
yeah.
It's understandable.
So, as observed from previous health emergencies, according to the researches that I have done, most recently during the um, Ebola outbreaks, the impact on education, vocational education, is lesser compared to what we are experiencing right now. I mean, there is a most negatively affect on every country during this pandemic.
So you're saying that compared to all other outbreaks, COVID-19 is the worst.
Yeah. Vocational education and training is likely to most negatively affect countries
Yes, right.
with already low learning outcomes, high dropout rates, and low resilience to shocks, and in particular in developing countries, given that distance learning remains out of reach for those without means to connect.
Correct.
Understand?
Understand. So what you're
this
trying to
makes
say
us-
is, what you're trying to say is, you mean those practical type of works, right? Practical type.
Yeah.
Those are the ones who got affected the worst.
I mean, most of the students, for example, dropout rates, it increased very high.
Oh, okay. Understand.
Yeah, when it comes to students, because from traditional to face to face, from traditional to online learning, right?
Yes.
So
Understood.
in that case, this may cause further loss in human capital and diminish economic opportunities. Yeah, economic opportunities in the future. So just like for example, before the COVID-19 outbreak, some schools are providing school feeding in every student. Some countries do that. I'm not sure in Malaysia, but in Philippines they do.
Oh.
Yeah. So for now they are presently blocked, and most of the students are.
Pardon? Can you repeat that
Sorry?
again? Can you repeat that again? Presently what?
Presently, they are not doing that anymore because of the pandemic, right? So they are not allowed to conduct great.
Class.
Yeah.
We're the same as well. We're all doing the online classes as well.
And the closure is very limited.
The what?
The closure interaction is very limited.
Yes. Yeah, it's very limited. There's so many jokes on TikTok going on. If you notice that, okay, I'm not sure in Philippines, but around Malaysia, in the class, everyone will be mute. Everyone will be mute, okay? And the only person talking will be the teacher. So what you mean by very limited interaction is, there's one example where the teacher, okay, for example, the teacher does a joke, and then everyone is mute. And then if a teacher does a joke, who's gonna laugh? So there's gonna be that one student who's gonna unmute and be like, ha ha ha, and then mute it back. So that's really limited. So what you're trying to do in terms of very limited communications, yeah.
But also, we are not sure if the student is really listening during that session.
Yes, for then mute off your screen, put the laptop on the bed and sleep. Understood.
Not your lecturers. No, don't do that. Don't do that.
Understood. Before that, Jinima, is it okay if you try to put your presentation slide full?
Full?
Yeah, because it's not full. Yeah.
If I click it in full slideshow, it will. I won't see this. I won't see you and the screen.
Oh, understood. So
I
it should be fine. Okay, that is fine. It'll be better if you can see me and you and yourself.
Yeah.
So okay. All right, continue.
So the second key aspect is rural youth are being hit hard by the COVID-19 in respect of employment. So when we say in respect of employment, many youth are losing their jobs as well, because youth are in the age range of 15 to 24, right? So not all.
Sorry for cutting off, but I just want to understand your topic right now, the current topic. Rural youth are being hit hard by the COVID-19 in respect of employment, meaning to say that, for example, a company is affected by the customers, the what do you call it, revenue, right? So they have to, for example, cut the salary, cut hourlies. Is that what
Yeah,
you
they
mean?
can do that by downsizing their
Uh,
employees.
okay, okay.
But as we know, I think most of the countries are experiencing that even small businesses weren't able to succeed and stay in line during this time due
Mm.
to the limited access on everything.
Yeah, yeah. Understood.
Yeah. So often they have low paid, less
Mm.
secure, and less protected jobs, and are more likely to live in working poverty.
Mm.
Also,
I honestly,
also yeah.
I honestly understand that so much because I used to have a job. I used to have a job that I worked for 1 year. It was really a good job, and
Is it
ever since
online
this,
or
no,
freelance
no,
job or
it's a sports family center job.
oh,
It's a very fun, very flexible place. It really suits my character because I tend to be athletic and so active, and that type of job, and also very sociable, interactive. So that type of job suits my characteristics. And the salary for a student is really good for a student. Okay, and since it's a sports center, since
well?
since like a family friendly sports center, indoor theme park, there's a
Uh-huh.
lot of touch and there's a lot of people sweat, and you know how the COVID is transferred through touch and sweat and all that. Yep. Of course, the park would definitely close down.
Yeah.
My hourlies was reduced like crazy. The salary was reduced like crazy as well. It was really really tough for me, and we cannot do anything but respect. But we have to respect this company requirements. So it's very very tough time. Losing a job, losing your source of income, knowing you're as a student, that source of income is the reason why I can get internet. So just imagine the chain negative reaction.
Even it's just a small amount of money, but for us it can be a big help already.
It helps survive for the next 1 or 2 months.
Yeah. So that proceed.
Understandable.
Yeah.
Do you work part time over there where you're studying before the
Um
pandemic?
yeah, before the pandemic I did as a
Mm,
but that was only for 2 months. Then I
uh,
stopped because I want to focus on my studies.
I see, I see. All right, understandable.
Yeah. So
Continuing.
the other specific group of youths are indigenous people. This is what I have said earlier. I think I don't need to.
But what are the points over there? Actually, since you're not putting it in full slideshow, I can't really see the points. So I'm really hoping that you can explain the points. I can only see the title. The points are really tiny and blurred. I can't see it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm sorry about that.
No, no, it's okay. You elaborating is already enough. So I'm okay with that. It's just if you could elaborate the points, we will have more things to discuss about and it'll be extra
So,
fun.
okay. So for this one, other specific groups of youth, um, which includes indigenous peoples, adolescents, youth in humanitarian or crisis context, um, youth with disabilities and other minorities who are potentially marginalized and in fragile situations may be exposed to further vulnerabilities. This youth may experience the highest degree of socio-economic marginalization owing to factors such as their lack of access to effective surveillance. In the case of indigenous youth, various difficulties have been assessed in connection with the lack of translation of key health information. You know what I mean? Because they have their own language, right?
Okay.
And and also the risk of youth enrollment in criminal organizations or extremist groups cannot be ruled out as a negative coping strategy because they feel they feel like they are neglected in our by our governments. That's why
Ah,
there is a high possibility that youth will join any criminal organizations or
against the, which is against the government. Is that what you're
yeah,
trying to say?
yeah,
Mm,
and that
I
is one
see it.
also, and that is one also of the challenges.
Mm. And we cannot blame them as well, right? We cannot blame
Yeah,
these type of people
because
into this.
we're not in their situation.
Understand? I mean, honestly, if okay, I wouldn't say that I would join this kind of stuff like that, but I would be also very angry with the government's neglects towards
Yeah,
the people who need help most. I would
yeah.
be angry, but I wouldn't go to that extent, of course.
That's
If
why we should be
mm,
grateful if we are privileged enough that
to access everything,
yeah, yeah.
honestly. Okay.
Um, so for me, the impact of COVID-19 is not gender neutral, which means that disease outbreaks increase women's and particularly young women's duties in caring for elderly and ill family members as well.
Can you
And
repeat that again? Sorry. Can you
disease
repeat that again?
outbreaks Disease
Okay.
outbreaks increase women's and particularly young women's duties in
Ah, okay,
caring
okay.
for elderly because elderly are prone to the COVID-19, right? And
Hmm.
also ill family members. Because when we think of taking care of the early or other people, it should be normally it is women, right? Not men.
Understood.
So they also have to take care of their children and siblings who are out of school and therefore may be further hit by secondary impacts of the outbreak. And the worst is some youth are experiencing domestic violence.
Mm. At home.
Yeah,
Due to
yeah,
understood.
and they are afraid to seek help.
Understood. There at the same time, there's so many friends of mine. It's not that I have friends who face domestic abuse. I didn't meet anyone like that yet, but I met people who does not have a very peaceful household. When they have class, their mom will literally, their parents will literally scold them. Not scold them. They get really frustrated for having their kids having to sit down for hours in front of a computer working hard and then going for classes for hours and hours, not helping in class, not helping for home chores, not helping over taking care of siblings. It's those type of really unpeaceful household that bothers the youth's mindset and peace of mind these days.
And
It bothers
also
their motivation.
that causes also one of the depression, right?
Yes. One of
Depression.
the one of the many causes of stress, depression, the mental health problems, and etc. Continue.
So the last one is making rural youth voice heard during the COVID-19 pandemic could be difficult given the underdevelopment of certain rural areas. Um, Too often, rural young people's voices are not heard during different dialogues or processes, and so they are already in complex situation, and their needs are not met. Policies, strategies, and processes often fail to account for the heterogeneity of youth, and so do not provide them with the effective support. That's one of the challenges.
Okay. I'm really sorry, but I had a little trouble absorbing that. Can you simplify it? Can you simplify it, please?
Not everyone youth voice are heard during the COVID-19 pandemic
Okay.
because since they have limited access and they are using different dialogues or processes, and so they're already complex. They are
Mm,
in complex situation. I mean, they don't really
they cannot
know
click
where.
with each other. They cannot click with
Yeah,
each other.
and also
Oh.
they don't know where to seek help.
Ah. Okay. They don't know where to seek help.
Yeah.
Understood. Then, do you know any? Maybe your campus. Do they also spread hotline numbers?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. They
Such
do
as?
that. Yeah, yeah, of course. But this one is according to my research only.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So it seems to be there are flaws around the country. Like there are places that people still don't know where to seek
Where
help.
to seek, yeah.
Hmm.
Because they don't know how to seek help because they don't have the materials. I mean, most of them are using the mobile phones, not the modern one.
Oh, you mean like
Yeah,
those Nokia, those press one, the buttons one? You
yeah.
talking about those?
So
Yes.
they are not always updated for the news and what are the happenings.
Hmm. I see. I see. Understood. Making rural useful. So, do your campus ever do community work, such as helping those people who don't have um, those really strong
Yeah, yeah,
gadgets? Like, can you
yeah.
elaborate on that?
They also provide that one.
Oh, you
During the
provide.
I mean, they provide help to the students as well, especially if you're a student from NBUC. During the pandemic, they provided us goods, foods, and also there is a
You
group
provide
of
basic necessities, like daily
yeah,
necessities.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Malaysia has that too. It's very
Oh,
interesting. Mm. I think everywhere, a lot of places have that. They definitely have that. It's just the only difference is sometimes the community is the one helping each other. The governments aren't really taking much actions, which is quite disappointing. But my point is, most of the help, most of the initiation comes from the community itself. Is it the same as yours?
yeah, it's the same.
Oh, okay.
So
Moving on.
moving on, have you heard of the Viona Motivin?
Yeah, she was trending the
Yeah.
entire Malaysia at one point.
So since many of you are watching today, I hope this video will help them to motivate themselves and see her as an inspiration.
Okay.
Because yeah, because she showed everyone that no matter how hard it is, she was still able to pursue her studies, even she's working every day and helping her family to support their household.
Okay.
So
Would you want to start playing the video?
yeah, sure.
Okay.
This is the incredible story of how one girl climbed to the top of the world just to pass her high school exam. Meet Viviana.
Hi, I'm Viviana. I climb a tree and it changed my life.
Viviana is a student that lives here with her family in a tiny village surrounded by the jungle in Malaysia. But in this village, the internet is slow. So slow that you can't even check your email.
Hi!
And for a student like Viviana, this is a huge problem. You see, when COVID-19 hit Malaysia, her school moved online. And because of the slow connection, she couldn't take her exams.
With no internet, I will fail my exams.
But she was determined to pass. And she had a unique idea. She thought that the higher she is, the better the internet connection will be. So she went to the highest hill in her village, climbed it, and checked the internet connection.
Yes, it works.
Then she cut some bamboo and made a hut, so she could do her exams there and thought that she was all set. But when she came back the next week, her hut was destroyed because of a storm.
I felt sad and frustrated because I built that hut with my own effort.
But this didn't stop her because she had a plan B. She packed a bag, her pens, her books, food, water, and a mosquito net, and climbed the tallest tree that she could find. And for the next 12 hours, she sat there surrounded by mosquitoes on top of the tree in the middle of the jungle and did her exams. And she passed. She even recorded her experience and posted it on YouTube, and hundreds of thousands of people have watched it. Then something amazing happened. The University of Sabah, Malaysia gave her a scholarship to study there for free.
When I finish high school, I want to become a teacher because I want to help others to get an education to beat the cycle of poverty. And I want to continue making videos like Nas.
Hey Viviana, sorry to interrupt. My name is Nas from Nas Daily, and I wanted to say you are an incredible human being. If I had to work this hard just to take a high school exam, I wouldn't take it. So hats off to you for everything you're doing, and the world needs more hard workers like you who have dedication to pursue education.
And because of her story, an internet provider invested in a better internet connection for her hometown. And now everyone in the community can access the internet and have better opportunities.
So for my community and village, first of all, we need to change our mindset, and also we need to work hard and never give up.
From no internet to climbing a tree to getting a scholarship and helping her community, her story shows that hard work really does pay off.
I will work more to achieve success in life so that I can provide to myself and I can help my family.
And after all that she has done, she has but one message for the whole world. Everyone in life faces their own challenges, but to every challenge, there is a solution. All you have to do is look hard enough, think outside the box, and never give up. Viviana's ability to be resourceful when it matters truly makes her one of Asia's superhumans.
Cinema, whoop. It will start with a little bit of a issue at the moment. Okay. After this video, we're about to wait for Jinima to return back. So for now, as you can see, we all watched Viviana, right? We all know who is Viviana. We all know her as the Asian superhuman for really being so dedicated in her work, from like what the video said, from having no internet connection, climbing a tree, getting a scholarship, helping her community, and ultimately having Wi-Fi, ultimately having good internet connection for her community. I really think that's so inspiring. And okay, there are some people who would be like, maybe Viviana didn't have to go through this. Maybe if they just, maybe if Viviana just had her voice heard, she didn't have to go through such hardship. But due to this hardship, there was so many inspiring thoughts for students, motivational spirit given to students, and at the same time, her voice is heard. At the same time, a scholarship was given to her. At the same time, she managed to help her community. So we could say, if Viviana's voice was heard in the beginning, maybe none of this would happen. Maybe there was a good thing. This is a prime example of when bad things happen, there's a good thing behind it. So there are many Malaysians who initially was like, you know, we need to have something bad like this to happen so that the authorities would take action. I mean, maybe that is the point. Maybe that is the benefit of having situations like this happen. So many good things can happen through one bad thing. One of the viewers here said, Ilzan Hillary said that she represented the voices of the poor students in the village or in the jungle. That's very true. And that's the beauty of it. Hard work pays off. And at the same time, it gives off so many branches of help. And having to help your own people, I think that's a crazy achievement in life for someone who's age 19 or 20 years old. She's very young. She's very young, honestly. Okay, so right now we're trying to add Jinima in. Unsure of this issue at the moment. Okay, before we move on, I would like to continue to share what type of topic we have left for this conference. So currently we're talking with Jinima Lin from University College Sabah, Malaysia. Well, she's from Philippines, of course. After Jinima, at 2 o'clock, we're going to have another webinar, 2 p.m. After lunch hour. We're going to have another webinar with Kamarul Najwa from Geomatika College Keningau, Sabah, Malaysia. After that, the last webinar for today will be Lina Marouf from Tunis Business School, Tunisia. Kamarul Najwa is a very interesting, not so shy, but at the same time vocal type of student. I'm really excited to talk with her. I'm also very excited to talk to Lina because of, first, she's an MUNer. MUN as a Model United Nations participant. So she has a lot of points to say. We have a lot of things to expect from Lina as well. So please stay tuned. It's not over yet. Currently, we're waiting for Jinima to come in. Unsure of what is wrong. So please stay tuned. All right. Jinima is back. What happened?
Hello.
Where'd you go?
I fixed the slide. Sorry.
All right, it's fine. All right, so we have watched your video. Do you have anything to say?
So, how about the...
How about the what? The slide? Okay.
Yeah. How about the video?
The video was straightforward, simple, inspiring, motivating. I loved it. I really loved it. I'm pretty sure the audience loved it too.
Very inspirational, right?
Yes, very inspirational. It's something like, I don't think she expected it. I don't think she expected it.
And
but at the same time, I think she hoped for someone to watch her because she posts a lot of YouTube videos, right? And it was worth the shot.
I just hope it will serve as, she represented one of the millions of youth in our world. That's why we should see her.
Take example?
Yeah, take her as an example. Yeah.
Yes, correct.
So,
your slide, do you have any other slides to present?
Yeah, I have, about mitigating youth challenges.
Okay, let's get on with it.
All right. So, mitigating youth challenges, no youth should be left behind. So, these are the ways to consider to help youth in independent living. Firstly, the use of remote learning and education, vocational education, and training resources should be adapted to mitigate the loss of learning and to avoid child labor increase during the closures of schools and training institutes. Sorry for that. Yeah.
I know, it's okay.
Strong efforts should be directed to expanding countries' measures to cover rural areas, but also to strengthen agribusiness-related education. This is more on how we cope up with the challenges I gave earlier.
Understood.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, efforts should also be channeled to transform face-to-face and group-based agricultural methodologies into effective online learning. For example, by using where is needed via television, mobile phones, rural radios like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Understood.
So
Next slide. Think about it.
if we are struggling, even we are living in urban areas, how much more those who live in rural areas, right?
I think as me, as someone who lives in urban areas, I cannot imagine. I can't fathom it. If I was there, if I was in their position, I'll go insane.
It's hard. It's
Honestly,
difficult, right?
it's so difficult.
Yeah. So the
But
next
like you
one.
said, okay,
Sorry?
continue. That's all right. Continue.
So the next one is efforts should be made to retain rural young women and men's productive participants in the labor force. Since many of the youths are working today and became unemployed, something not necessarily done in the aftermath, just like in 2008 global financial crisis, where support measures were provided mostly in formal sectors and not in informal sectors, wherein they needed it the most.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay, continue.
furthermore, efforts should be made to include young agripreneurs in public investments to support their adaptation to a changing market, while facilitate them to become agents of food system transformation.
So this
So
is in
that
hopes to stop labor forces, right?
yeah.
Understood.
But there is in respect of employment, like in the previous slides, right?
Yes, I saw that.
Yeah. So the next one is protecting fundamental rights such as freedom of association and expression are critical for young people to allow them to express their views and ideas, because young people possess a tremendous transformative potential, and extra effort should be made um, for rural young women and men, as well as youth representatives, young people, and other sectors. I
Understood.
mean, there are many youth out there who have nice
Great
ideas.
ideas. Yes.
Yeah, but they cannot express it. Some youth are able to express it, but in many ways.
So hurt.
It's very hard.
Understood. I know a lot of people who has bombastic ideas as well, but they don't really have, first, they're not heard. Second, they don't really know the right sources to express their ideas. Sometimes their ideas are looked down on when actually is a really good idea. I'm not really sure. It seems very political.
And I also think it depends on who you speak with.
Yes, that too.
Yeah, right.
As well.
Yeah.
Understood.
So overall, gender, age, and minorities inequalities will need to be taken into account throughout all the measures initiated by the governments and development partners, both during the pandemic and in its recovery phase.
All right.
That's
Understood.
all. That's all.
That's all?
That's all.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Okay. So right now we're going to have our Q&A session.
Yeah.
So to the audiences, if you have any questions, please leave a comment down below in this live. I will attend to it as soon as I can. But before we look into the audience's questions, I have a few sets of questions for you. So you ready?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. First question. Do you think youths should focus on finding a job or pursuing their study during this pandemic?
I think during this pandemic, youth should pursue their education first. Especially as for the villagers, they might go to work first. I mean, it depends. If you are in a village, I would prefer to work first and study later on, because you can study anytime, right? And due to the challenges they are facing right now, it is hard to admit that not everyone is financially stable, and also what I have said earlier, their resources are very limited. For those youth who live in urban areas, I think it would be better if they would proceed to their studies, since most of their classes now were held online. So
we can also talk about time management, correct?
Yeah.
So do you think, okay, honestly, I think for urban areas to do time management is really easy. It's not really easy, but it's challenging, but to a point where it's also committable. You can do time management. You still can manage your time. But I think for rural areas, it's a little bit, it's like ends meet. Like you have to make sacrifices. I feel like in rural areas, you have to make sacrifices. So time management for rural areas.
When there are many siblings in the family, right? They have to sacrifice.
Can you repeat? Sorry, can you repeat that again?
If there are many siblings in the family.
Oh, right.
You have to sacrifice for each other's education as well.
Understood.
Especially if you're not financially stable.
Correct. Okay. Moving on to the next question. Second question is, aside from staying motivated, okay, what else can you do to cope challenges, to live independently?
Aside from staying motivated, just like Pearl have said earlier, our recent speaker, there are many opportunities also that is available right now. In every crisis, there is an opportunity, right? Yes. So you may join webinars and expand your knowledge through engaging online activities and not spending too much time on social media. Social media is truly fun, but if you don't utilize it really well, it will utilize you. And we should not let that happen.
That's very true.
Yeah. Just like our Philippine national hero once said, ang kabataan ang pag-asa ng bayan. Which means that our youth is the hope of our country, something like that.
Correct.
So, yeah. That's what
I do have a question. Like, this is my personal question. Do Philippines, okay, this the hero of your Philippines is said that the youth is the future of the country, right? Does your country prioritize youth? Do they look at youth like what they say? Do they give chances?
Yeah.
Can you give some examples? I'd like to know.
For example, there is a university in the Philippines. We call it University of the Philippines, where students are funded by the government. I mean, their tuition fees, you just have to take entrance examination, just like something like that. So it will help them to pursue their education even from higher education, something like that.
Have you personally, this is my question again. Have you ever felt demotivated yourself as a student for facing this type of... How did you cope it?
But
what I said?
Sorry?
Basically, there's a lot of difficulties going on, like internet problem. You faced that before. Has it demotivated you? Has it?
Yes, of course. But
so
if there's a
how
will,
did you cope it?
If there's a will, there's a way. If you,
it's just like what Viviana said. It's all about the mindset. So you had your own mindset.
Don't let negativity pull you down, because every one of us have difficulties facing in life, facing difficulties in life. We don't know that some youth may be facing worse than you, or maybe mine, right? But they are still there.
Understood. Okay, I have a last question for you before we end this webinar. It seems that the audiences are really asking any questions, but I do have one last for you. What could have been if there was no pandemic?
So, since everyone is saying that if there is no pandemic, maybe our daily lives will still be more fun, engaging, and we won't be experiencing the struggles that we are facing right now. But if we look on the positive side, coronavirus outbreak made us realize to value things, the people around us, appreciate our loved ones, that we care for each other. It enhanced our patience, unity as a country, and especially when it comes to our health. It also helped our mother nature to heal from all of the pollution we have done, because there are less cars out there. So as a youth, it might be a depressing time for us, but everything happens for a reason. Maybe, I know it's a cliche, but maybe we won't realize it by now, but I'm sure one day, these days will be useful and also be valued.
Yes. It forces us to come out of our shell. It also allows us to stop stereotyping like janitors, frontliners, grocery workers. It allows us to respect them more because they are the one who's going to sustain us during hard times like this. Not theme parks, not clubs, not karaoke.
That's why we should not just respect those who are in high positions, because all people are the same, right?
Yes, everyone's the same.
Equal. We are all equal.
Equal. That's the word. Correct. So I think that's all. Your presentation is done. Q&A session is over. So first and foremost, thank you very much, Jinima, for sharing your knowledge. It was very fluent, very interesting, very detailed. And it was a great surprise for you to show us Viviana as well. I really enjoyed this talk with you, honestly. It was very, very interactive. I liked it a lot. Okay.
Thank you also for having me here and be part of this conference.
Okay, that's a very warm welcome for you. And okay, that's just about it from us, from me and Viviana, from me and Jinima. Sorry. So sorry. So excited. Okay, so there will be a next webinar at 2 p.m. I hope all of you can watch with us and stick with us until the end of the conference. Okay, please don't leave yet. We need your questions. We need more interactions. Although I have the questions, but I need you with us. Okay, so I'll see you at I'll see you at 2 p.m. for the third webinar. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hold on for a second, okay? I hope viewers here can interact more with us so that we can share more knowledge and insight with each other. More perspective and more insights will be very much appreciated, first and foremost. Do comment your questions whenever the Q&A session begins. Without further ado, let's move on to the panelists. Hi, Najwa.
Hi.
Hello. Can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me?
I can.
Okay.
I can.
It's good. First and foremost, how have you been? How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. And how about you?
I'm getting by, hopefully. It's quite tiring, but it's okay. All right. Firstly, can you please introduce yourself to the audience so that they know who you are?
Okay. Assalamualaikum and a very good morning to all audience and our moderator.
Good morning.
Before anything else, I want to say thank you for giving me the opportunity as a speaker in this webinar 3, Mental Health of Youth in Malaysia. May we all be kept away from COVID-19 and be safe wherever you are. Ladies and gentlemen,
all right.
Go further about my topic, I would like to introduce myself. So, my name is Kamaruna Binti Taib, and my hometown is in Kota Belu, Sabah. In addition, Sabah is one of the states in Malaysia. Currently, I am studying at Geomatika College Keninau for a diploma in tourism management. This is my last semester this year. Even though this webinar is my first experience as a speaker, I am very grateful to gain as many opportunity and share to all of you how I manage my emotion during this pandemic. As we know that all over the world was affected by COVID-19, so it is important to us to handle our health properly and avoid the virus from spreading.
Okay. So since this is your first experience, are you really happy to be here?
Yes, I am. It was a big opportunity for me to be here and be part of this event.
Were you nervous initially? Were you nervous before this entire thing happened?
Yes, I am. I'm shaking.
No, it's okay. Honestly, your introduction was very good. You don't need to be so nervous. Me and you, we're just in a smooth discussion. So whatever it is, you can interact with me and I will interact with you. So you don't have to take this too much pressure, okay?
Okay. Thank you.
All right. So moving on to your slide.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's begin with the definition of mental health. The World Health Organization, WHO, defines mental health as a state of well-being in which every individual realizes his or her own potential, can cope with the normal stress of life, can work productively and fruitfully, and is able to make a contribution to her or his community. So when we talk about emotion during this pandemic, we will look into how this pandemic affect our emotion, especially to the youth. So what is youth?
Yes.
Youth considered as the time one is young, especially the period between childhood and maturity. This generation is mostly affected by this pandemic, especially students and young people. So in this topic, we are talking about the right way to handle negative emotions such as sadness, frustration, anger, and depression.
All right. Sickness, you mean sickness as in mental illnesses? Is that what you mean?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Okay, next.
All right.
When we experience negative emotion in this pandemic, our lifestyle are changing too. It is related on how we manage our job, life routine, financial management, and new norm that is given by the government. All this lifestyle affect our emotion. For example, as a student, I had to stay at hostel during the MCO and was restricted from going home on the first PKP.
To your hometown?
Yes. What? Sorry?
You mean you're restricted from going back to your hometown?
Yes.
Right? Okay.
During that time,
continue.
Sorry. During that time, I feel down and frustrated. Those emotions affect my emotion. This negative emotion lead us to depression. But here, I will discuss the right way to handle the emotion during this pandemic. Not only me, but other people will also feel isolated only because they cannot do a family gathering, meeting friends, or do other activity during this pandemic.
Okay,
all this
understood.
It will lead us.
Okay.
Of this
so you said that. Okay, sorry. If you don't mind me asking. Okay. So initially you said that you felt frustrated and down for not being able to go back to your hometown. Basically, you felt homesick, right? Will you be also telling the audiences on how to handle homesick feelings as well? Homesick feeling is a very, very deep emotion, especially on students. It really takes a toll on everyone's mind.
Yeah.
You will give tips on that as well, yes?
Yes, of course. When my family in my group WhatsApp group family, they share their photo and the activity. It makes me feel more miss them.
But But have you ever tried taking your homesick feeling positively? Have you tried? Or do you have your own coping mechanism for feeling homesick?
Yes, I overcome my homesick with my own way.
Can you share us how did you do it?
Okay. In this slide, I will show on how I handle my emotion during this pandemic. First,
okay.
Make time to unwind, or have a quality time or relax in your home and avoid overthinking. As we know, the virus is very dangerous, but overthinking will lead us to anxiety. Overthinking about the virus will make us scary all the time while Sorry?
No. Basically, I said what you're trying to say is overthinking about the virus is causing us to unnecessarily panic, unnecessarily bring scenarios in our head that does not exist.
Yes, of course.
Okay, continue.
Okay, overthinking about the virus will make us scary all the time, even while you are inside your home. Finding your hobby is a great way to help yourself audience. For example, people who like to activity can exercise, do yoga, or work out on the balcony. People also can watch favorite TV programs or drama on YouTube. Other than that, put your favorite music and dancing to it also reduce the stress you had. In my experience, before I return to Kota Blut, we need to do a swab test and wait the result for 2 weeks at the quarantine center. During that time, since we could not go anywhere until the result came out, I watched an anime series and did my assignment to kill my boredness. This showed that we have to adapt our emotion with this pandemic. Focus on your emotion that this pandemic will recover soon.
Correct. I have a question though. A question. Okay, so you keep saying that to deal with these emotions, you want to distract yourself. You want to do things that make your mind divert into a different direction, right?
Yes.
Correct. But I've heard somewhere, sometimes when you do these kind of things that distracts you, you're basically running away from the problem. You're not really dealing with your problem, such as you overthink. Okay. What if there's a way for you to tackle your overthinking mind instead of just keep running away, finding other things to distract yourself and etc.? Do you think distracting yourself is something you can consistently do for a long time, or is it a temporary solution? Actually,
it's just actually it is for a temporary solution because some problems take time to be solved. For my opinion.
Okay. So, do you have your own technique on tackling problems such as overthinking? How can you make someone not overthink? Maybe reduce overthinking.
For me, in my personally, I don't like to think too much. I hate thinking. Yes. I don't
you dislike
use Yes.
Oh, okay. Understand. Never mind then. Continue.
Okay. Second, communication or interact with each other or connect with other. When you are stressed or having anxiety, talk and share your problem or thought, feelings on what you feel this pandemic with people you trust especially. Sharing your feelings help you release the emotion you have pent up inside. Other than one of the therapy, it will also lead to a clear mind and other people will understand you better. Also, research tells us that expressing emotion builds close relationship and stabilize your emotion. But please remember that when you talk or communicate to them, just focus on positive content and avoid sharing fake news. In my way, my cousin and I virtually connected through video games such as Free Fire, Mobile Legends, and Among Us. Even though there is no face-to-face interaction, we play games together so that I feel like I'm together with them.
Understood. All right, continue. I play Free Fire too.
Nice. We can play together.
All right, we'll see about that, okay? Continue.
Okay. The third one, know where and how to get treatment. Other way to survive in this pandemic is you know exactly who or where to get the treatment you need. Unlike going to hospital, negative emotion need a specific treatment such as counselor or any agency that give a psychological therapy. In Malaysia, we have the Department of Social Welfare Malaysia, Ministry of Health Malaysia, Malaysian National Security Council, and non-governmental organization (NGO) that provide treatment that mental illness need. These agencies are providing support, either food, financial, or therapy for those facing emotional problems.
Okay.
In this case, we are preparing ourselves if the worst happens and avoid a panic situation. If you have a mental illness, you should get treatment immediately before it's worse. Always aware where to go and how to get treatment in this case. In this case, I never use the hotline or counseling service, but I usually share or talk my problems with my close friends and my roommates. It is more than enough for me, for them to willingly listen to my thoughts and problems during that pandemic that I face.
Understood. Okay. Any more?
Furthermore, take breaks from watching, reading, or listening to news and story. Another way of avoiding negative emotion is not easy to trust any news. As we know, people are spreading fake news instantly on social media. So when we totally agree and trust the news, it will disrupt our emotion and lead us into anxiety and depression. Reading and hearing about the pandemic repeatedly can be upsetting, especially when the news gets worse day by day. The best way to get right?
Have you question?
Sorry?
I'm sorry to cut you off, but in your area, has any fake news has been spread around and actually caused panic?
Yes. It is.
How bad was it? How did all of you tackle that issue?
How our state tackle that issue?
Yes, the panic.
They released an official statement on their official website through social media. Yes.
So even if the official statement has came out, the damage caused, the panic caused, did you had a chance to revert it back? I mean, fix whatever that has caused?
Yes.
Okay. So it's all about speed, actually.
Yes.
Understood. Okay, continue.
The best way to get the news is browsing the ministry website and avoiding sharing any news without confirming the fact. It will help our emotion positively and at the same time it will help the frontliners break the virus from spreading. Because I always read different information from each social media platform, it confusing me, so I stopped to follow the current progress of COVID-19.
Okay, understood.
Last but not least, take care of your body. Taking good and healthy food is important for stable emotion.
Hold on. Is it okay if you check your connection for a while because you're a bit lagging and stuttering? While you speak, your sentences are not really completed. Can you just check for a moment? Yeah.
Okay.
I'll just give you about 2 minutes, so please.
Okay.
Okay, while we wait for the technical issues to regenerate back, I'm just gonna continue a little bit about Najwa's about Najwa's topic. So mental health is a very heavy topic to talk about. It's actually a stigma around Malaysia, honestly. There are Malaysians who they agree on having weak religious prowess inside you, and that's the cause of you having low mental illnesses. For example, if you're not so pious, you're not practicing your religious routine properly, or maybe you're not, what they say in Malay is called kurang iman. Kurang iman is basically when you have very low faith inside you. And I disagree with that. I really disagree with that, because mental illness, the term illness is there, and the illness comes from the mental over there. So you cannot simply, we cannot simply stigmatize people by saying, or judge people by saying, oh, you got mental illness, that means your faith is very, very low. Personally, that is very degrading for the person who faces mental illness themselves. So that is what Najwa will pinpoint on, hopefully. She probably will in her slide. I'm still not that sure, but we will discuss on that soon. At the same time, I agree with whatever she's saying, because most of the point is all about mindset. Most of the point is how you want to take responsibility for your pain. If you do have depression, if you do have this and that, your responsibility is to seek help, seek medication, prescriptions, so that you can feel better. Practice every day to improve your mental health state, and etc. The same goes for people who are facing a lot of pain in their life. For example, maybe their household is not peaceful, maybe their studies is so frustrating, financial problems, and etc. Those all depends on mindset. Last webinar with Jinima, webinar 2, we have watched about Viviana, correct? And she proved to us that it's all about our mindset. Every single problem has its solution, even with mental illnesses as well. The solution is thinking as positive as you can, talk to people, seek psychiatrist help, regularly eating your medicine on time, practice positive things, go for changes that is good for you. And most of the webinars here, they have chain links. Each topic, they have their links with each other. Webinar 1, 2, 3, 4. In the end, it all relates to how we think about ourselves, how we view the world, and how we try to change, how we learn from our mistakes as well. So this topic is very interesting with Najwa, but right now she has internet connection problem. Technical issues tends to happen as well. So we will patiently wait for her. Okay, Najwa, can you hear me?
Hi. Can you hear me too? Hi.
Yes, I can hear you. Okay, it's better.
Okay.
It's better.
Thank you.
Okay, continue.
Last but not least, take care of your body. Taking good and healthy food is important for
Hold on. Is this your last slide? Hold on. Is this your last slide?
This is my last point. Last point.
For the
yes.
Second. Oh, okay. Understood. Okay, continue. Sorry to cut you off.
It's okay. Stick on your regular routine as possible and maintain a daily schedule for yourself, including sleeping, meals, and activity. To have a good health, you should not skip your sleep. Okay? Stay connected with people you love through. Yes, because if you lack of sleep on the morning, your emotion will not stable. You will frustrated and you become
Yes,
easy to
and grumpy,
yes,
irritated.
you become,
I've been there. We've all
yes.
been there. Okay,
Also,
continue.
also eat and healthy food so that have you been heard of it called happy tummy, happy tummy, happy face?
Happy tummy, happy face.
Yes.
I never heard that. I never heard that. But I assume if you got a happy tummy, you got a happy mood.
Yeah, it's like that.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Stay connected with people you love through video call, using the telephone or message them as much as possible so that you did not feel lonely during this pandemic. Other than that, we should avoid junk food or alcohol and eat more fruits or vitamins. Another way you can do is thinking positively about your body capabilities. Make a hobby such as gardening, cooking, streaming, or doing mini gym at your home.
Okay, understood.
To sum up, ladies and gentlemen, positive emotion is important during this pandemic. Why? It helps us avoid depression and anxiety. In addition, based on my research, this pandemic also caused a suicide, especially among students and youth. This happened because they did not get a proper treatment or how to handle the emotion during this pandemic. Always know that your life and health is important to people around you. So I hope all these methods help us manage our emotions. So let's pray. So let's pray and help each other to break the virus from spreading. Please follow authority orders and learn new norms such as social distancing, wearing masks, avoid crowded places, and wash your hands often. Thank you.
Understood. Okay. Now that the slide has ended and we still have about 34 minutes left for this webinar, so we can continue with the Q&A session. Is that okay with you?
Yes, I'm okay.
Okay, so first of all, there's no questions right now from the people, from the audiences. That's what I mean. To the dear audiences, please leave any questions that you like to know, what that you like to answer by the panelists over here. Any question is welcome. I will ask it on behalf of you. Okay, so do not hesitate to ask any question regarding this topic. It's about mental health. So it's very important to know about mental health and such like that. And me and Najwa can discuss with it and answer it for you. Okay, but I do have a set of questions for you, Najwa. Okay, ready?
Yes, I am.
Okay, the first question. What kind of mental illness arises during this pandemic?
Mental illness that arises during this pandemic is behavioral health, or as Dr. Penseni say, in general, stress behavior for many people brings a lot of problems. Other than that, because we need to stay at home, the mental illness like anxiety and depression increase, especially for those who are victim or abuse and for those who losing their job.
Okay, understand. So your point is saying that stress, the feeling stress, if we cannot manage it properly, is going to be the cause of us having sicknesses, illnesses. Is that what you mean?
Yes.
I've been there actually. I felt ill before due to so much stress and exhaustion. I felt sick because of exhaustion, fatigue, and working and such like that. So it's very relatable and understandable for you to say that stress really is like the root of this entire problem so many people have. And there's a question from Nurul Shafira. Nurul Shafira asks, how do you handle your anxiety during pandemic?
I usually do a lot of questions online. My statistic anxiety about how high my anxiety is. Can you understand what I'm talking about?
Yes. It's those website where they say you got test your mental health.
Yes.
Okay, I've done those things before. How do you use that website to allow you to handle your anxiety?
After I know the result, I Google some of a way on how to handle that anxiety. But for me, if I got that anxiety, I just listen to the music and avoid to overthinking about everything. Yes, or I play games, or yes.
So you distract yourself. So it's distract yourself and make yourself busy. So that's how you handle your stressors and everything. Okay.
Yeah.
I do have a personal question though. Do you have any of your friends around you that is diagnosed with mental illnesses?
Apa diagnose?
Diagnose means diagnose is when you go to the psychiatrist, and then you tell the psychiatrist what's up with you, and the psychiatrist tells you that, oh, you are diagnosed with depression, so you have depression. Diagnose means you clarify and you confirm that the person does have a mental illness. Diagnose is just another word for saying that. Yeah, it's just one word that explains the whole meaning. You understand?
Understand.
Yes. Diagnose is
you asked about my friends.
Yes, your friends, like your circle or any relatives, basically the people nearby you. Are they diagnosed with mental illnesses, and how do you help them cope during this pandemic?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I have friends that diagnosed with this mental illness. The first thing I do is when they talk to me, I listen, because sometimes people want that to be listened. I listen properly and I respond with positive words. So because if I talk about negative, their depression will increase.
Understood. Okay, what you're trying to say is we have to take care of what we say, what we ask, correct? Can you give me a set of example, like how can we talk to people who have mental illness? What's the right way of actually talking to them? I know we can listen attentively. I know we can be there for them, but some people, when they are there for them, they tend to say things unintentionally, bringing the person who has mental illness down. So can you give an example of what's the best way to talk to people who has mental illnesses? Based on your experience. Based on my
experience, I use a religion way. I keep remind them to always think positively, and listen. Just listen.
So you remind them, okay, they may really in the religious aspect is good. Not saying that there's nothing wrong with it, but you remind them in terms of, because in religion there's many things to take care of. First, it will remind us what is good, what is bad, what must be practiced and why must be practiced, and etc. Right? So I'm pretty sure in some religious aspect they have emotional comfort, where it gives every person the comfort inside them, emotional comfort. It rejuvenates their faith in their religion. Is that what you mean?
Yes.
Okay, understood. Okay, so moving on to the next question. Okay. Okay, before I get to the next question, there's a trigger warning. Trigger warning because there's the word suicide in it. So please, to the people who are sensitive with this topic, be wary, okay? Moving on to the second question. What can you do if your friends wants to commit suicide because of all that he or she is facing caused by this pandemic? It can be about losing their job, household problems, education, just so many factors that causes them to want to end it all.
Because I'm not a professional person to handle their emotion, I will recommend them to a professional helper. Talk to counselor.
Okay. Any other techniques that you would do? Besides?
Please comfort them and encouraging them with my words that they will feel better.
What? So what if there are people who they do not want to seek? They have the fear of approaching a psychiatrist or mental health organizations, because there are some people in Malaysia, if they go to mental health institutions, they get downgraded for even seeking help. They get called, what do we say, crazy. In Malay, it's called orang gila, and stigmas like that. They label people who seek help as crazy, sick, psychopath, and all the other terms that judges stereotypical people. So what if your friends, they don't want to seek help, and because of all these judgmental minds, how would you encourage them?
I will encourage them to talk. If she or he did not trust me, I will recommend them to talk with her family or their sibling, because if my word cannot reach them, sekurang-kurangnya their family members' words can reach the heart. The heart.
The heart. You mean heart?
The heart.
No.
Heart.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Heart. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, to the audiences, we still have time for about 24 minutes. I would really recommend all of you guys to please ask any questions regarding mental health. And if anyone is facing mental problems themselves, I recommend you to please ask so that we can discuss with Najwa. Okay, there is one question by Siti Nur Eva. Is there any other way for a person who is unable to express to others what he feels other than what has already been said? Oh, okay. Do you understand the question?
Yes, I understand.
I would like to say something about this question.
Okay, you can go on.
About expressing to what others feel, I take it quite by heart, because I've always tried to express things. I always try to express things in the simplest manner so that people can understand or relate to what I feel, because relating with one another is so important. It makes us feel not alone. It makes us feel like, oh wait, if I'm not alone, that means we can get through this together. You understand that? Not being able to express properly and not having other people understanding what you are really going through is really frustrating. It gets really lonely in this world at some times. So Najwa, have you ever felt like this before, where you have so much trouble trying to express what you feel?
Yes, I do have that trouble too because I'm not good at expressing my feelings with my words, I send music to people that I want to share my feeling. So the lyrics on the song can the lyrics
resonates. It
reach
resonates with you.
Yes.
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 It resonates with them too. So, is that one of your ways to express what others feel?
Yes.
What about any other ways? Okay, besides music. Besides music, how else can one person express how they feel? Do you have any other ideas?
Personally, if I agree with my siblings, my behavior will change. That is how I express my feeling. Yes.
I see. Okay, I understand. I agree with the part where you said that. Pardon? We talked at the same time.
Until they asked me why I became that. So I explain with as simple as I can to them.
Understood. Expressing your feelings in a form of art is also a very excellent way to express your feelings. It's in fact creative, and honestly, it kind of shows the bigger picture instead of speaking it in words. For example, you do photography, black and white filters, maybe a hood on. You can tell it's a very sad picture, and etc. and other feelings that you can express in the form of art. Okay, there is another question by Yati MZE. I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm sorry. How to handle people who always judge us and put so much expectation on us? Because sometimes if there's too much expectation from others, including family, it will lead to stress or depression. Okay, in a nutshell, how do we handle people who judge us and put a lot of expectation on us?
I faced this problem before. So when I stopped listening what people talk about me,
that's it?
Yes, I stopped listening about what they want me to do, about or how do I say this? I cannot express my feelings with the words.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay. Let's try it. Let's try it one more time. I'll try to understand and put it for you.
Okay.
Okay, let's try again.
Okay, when people put too much expectation to me, yeah, when they expect too high about what I want to do or anything, them that I have
hold on.
So that the words.
Wait. You're breaking a little bit. Let's just wait for a few seconds. Okay. Come again. Let's try again.
Okay. I talk to them that I have reached my limit and ask them to stop something that I cannot reach because I know my limits. I know myself.
Understood.
That's all.
Okay. That's actually a very good, inspiring thing for you to say, because people tend to not have their own self-esteem for themselves. And when you are always placed expectations, standards that you have to reach, it makes you forget yourself. It makes you forget what are you capable of, what is your potential, what can you actually achieve, and especially what you want to achieve. So Najwa said that you have to stand for yourself. Basically, that's what she means. She was straightforwardly confront the person who's judgmental, very high on expectation. Tell them that I cannot reach this. this is me, and if I cannot reach this, you have to accept me for who I am. I know myself more than what others do. Is that what you mean as well?
Yes, that's it.
Perfect. I hope it answered your question, Yati. Moving on to the next question by Aida Farhana Hamzah. What can you do to comfort? What can you do to comfort your friend if they said they are feeling alone and homesick? I think you felt that before. Should be okay.
I talk to them. To comfort your friends is talking. Yes, communicate. And yes, I usually do that. I just listening. When people
hold on, you're breaking. You're
breaking. My family problems or feeling. Is it okay now?
Hold on for a moment.
Okay.
Okay, come again. You talk to them.
Yes, yes, only that. I do that only because I'm not good with my words. So the only thing that I can do is yes, because sometimes yes, I be there for them because sometimes if you willingly to listen to the thought, they will feel better.
Understood. I've been there too. I have friends who they can't go back to their hometown. They get homesick. They get stressed and such like that. I also tell them, hey, do you want to play some games together? I play COD, so I play games with them, and then we get distracted and such like that. Sometimes, I don't tell them to distract because initially I think that distraction is temporary solution, but in the end, I will always remind them that you have to face that homesick feeling. Anything that you feel inside, you have to face it. You cannot run away from it. And even though you face it, you're not supposed to fight with it, because if you fight more, it will fight back harder. So what you have to do is make peace with it. You need to accept that you feel homesick, you miss your family. So contact them. The least we could do is contact them consistently through WhatsApp. Like whatever Najwa said, it all goes back to the basic communication technique. It's all about communication and how we set our mindset as well. Correct?
Yes.
Okay. The internet connection is a little bit stuttering. It's like breaking. Okay. I want to highlight on this one comment by Elvira Vera. She's one of a student of Geomatika University College. It's not a question, but I just want to read it out. I've been there before. Depression has robbed me of my personality. I feel like I can't get back in touch with myself or excited as I once was. I know there's other people who are going through this, so please reach out if you are. You're so loved. Do you have anything to say about that, Najwa?
Yes. If you have a mental illness, you need to talk about what you have pent up inside. Because if you have, you have to talk.
Hold on. Short disconnection. Welcome back.
Hi.
It's okay. We will just pick up where we left off. Continue.
Because if we keep it by yourself, it will make you more feel lonely.
Correct.
Yeah, just reach out or talk to stranger about how you feel. one of my friends using a dating app to talk with stranger because sometimes for me if it is more comfortable talking with stranger because they cannot judge you. Yes, they cannot judge you.
Okay. I also have something to say about what Alvera said. I honestly think that it's true. When you face so much pain, it just strips your personality out, your true self out, and then you don't know how to be yourself back. But my advice is pain is what makes you stronger. You can take pain in two ways only. One is to pull you down, or is to pull you back up. It's always about the mindset. If you take your pain and then the loss of your real self as a loss, it's going to take a toll on you a lot. So I suggest you to move on. It's about letting go. Life is all about a stepping stone, moving forward and such. Like what Leonardo DiCaprio said, every stage of life demands a new you, and you should embrace change just like that. Okay, so there is one last question from Shahida Al-Adrus. How do you comfort your friends if she's been inside for so long? Like she's having WFH for too long? I'm not sure. I'm not really sure what is WFH. So if you can comment it out, it would clarify it. Having WFH for too long and missing out the world. I tried to help her by introducing online games, home workout, but it didn't work. This has got to do with some wordplay. So how do you comfort your friend if she's been inside for so long?
I talk to them, just that. I reach them out. Trying your best is better than doing nothing.
Oh, by the way, I just understood. What is the benefit? Work from home for too long.
From home.
Thank you.
Okay.
So, that was your answer just now?
Yes.
Oh.
For people,
okay.
For people who cannot, to people who cannot dealing with her own feeling, advise them to seek counselor, a professional.
Okay. Okay. Usually, work from home, it doesn't work exactly the same as online classes, but it works a little bit the same as in you sit there for hours doing your work. So maybe you could comfort your friend because if the place is not in a lockdown, as in like maybe 50% lockdown, as in, okay, maybe restaurants are open until a certain time at night, maybe your friend can go for a short walk. Make sure she looks outside, she or he takes a look outside of the world, make them relax the mind, stay away from the gadgets for a moment. Or if the person cannot leave home, I always like to do this exercise where I would just look outside the window. Because when you look to the laptop too long, your eyes feel strained. So once you look outside and you focus on your eyes, you can feel that your eye muscles literally relax. And it's a very, very comforting feeling. So tell your friend, maybe she could just sit at home, look outside the window, or stay outside the balcony with a cup of coffee, cup of tea, whatever drinks she favors, and just enjoy the sky. Loosen up the muscle straining of the eyes. It really helps. That's what I always do. I mean, I recommend it to them. Okay?
Yes.
So, okay, that would be the last question that I will give as the webinar is about to end soon. So I hope it has been very beneficial for all the audiences over here regarding mental health. I hope everyone can learn from Najwa's knowledge and insight regarding on how to handle your own mental health. So Najwa, do you have anything else to say?
Nothing. I just want people who have a mental illness, please talk about that. Express your feeling. That's all.
All right. So remember to express your feelings. Don't isolate yourself too much. Remember, there is always a solution for every problem. Okay. So I think that's just about it. I will see you next time whenever we can, Najwa.
Okay, we can.
Okay, so right now we're about to start our last webinar for today's conferences. We still have more to come tomorrow, so I hope you guys can stick around for the next webinar, fourth webinar with Lina Maruf shortly in about 5 more minutes, 3 p.m. Okay, I will see you soon. Welcome back, everyone. After a really short break, 5 minutes only, we're back with another webinar and the last webinar for today. So let's invite our panelists today, Lina Maruf. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Am I clear? First and foremost,
yes.
Am I clear? Okay, nice.
Yeah.
I'm doing fine. So far, so good. Yeah, I can hear you. So how are you?
I'm good.
You look splendid. In fact, you look really pretty right now, honestly. Okay, so today's topic is about
ensuring continuity of learning during prolonged absences, dismissal, and closure.
Yep, correct. So before we get into the slide, can you introduce yourself a little bit to the audience?
Sure. My name is Lina. I'm from Tunisia, and I'm currently a sophomore student in Tunis Business School. Yeah.
Oh, okay, really short one. Okay, understood. All right, let's get without wasting time. Let's just get into the slides.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So we're going to talk about ensuring continuity of learning during prolonged absences, dismissal, and closure. So let's start.
Okay.
I think we've all heard about stories about poor, very poor children, or we saw maybe documentaries, very poor children that live out of nowhere and that have to walk kilometers and kilometers before they reach their school. And they do that every day to have access to education. And so, but like still every day, they are so determined to go to school and they want to learn so much. And like in another side, there are us. And I think I don't know anyone that have never complained about school. And we don't especially want to go to school. We're obliged to do it, so we go. But like most of the time, we don't want to. And I leave you with this.
Ooh, back to school necklace?
Yeah.
No, that is not right.
It was a joke with my friend. Yeah, just to tell you the image we have of school.
Trigger warning.
Yeah. So let's wonder first, why are we learning from the beginning? So why is education important? So the first humans, they used to have education too. And they used education to make sure they survive, to make sure that the next generation will continue to live and to have a better generation after generation, to make sure we evolve and we don't regress. So, yeah. So, and this is also the role of school. To make sure that every generation is prepared for the future, and to continue the process of evolving. So let's see now what makes us learn. What are the factors that push us to learn? So we have a challenge, which is the state of we want more, we want to know more, we want to resolve, and then we have curiosity, which is a normal emotion of wanting to learn more. And then we have the goals. Having a goal, yeah. When we have a goal, it pushes us to learn. yeah, it's a desire to outcome the learning. And we learn also when we have interest, when we have motive, and when we have motivation. Motivation is the level of effort plus energy plus attention invested in anything. So yeah, now that we know why we learn, so we can go back to the question, what's wrong with us? What's wrong with school? Because students are disinterested about school.
Yes.
Yeah, they're so disinterested about school. They don't value education anymore. And yeah, this leads to discipline problems then, and people missing courses. And so we have a real problem here. So you may wonder now, okay, what's the relation with the webinar? But actually, in such a crisis situation with a long period of lockdown, we have to continue learning even at home. So the problems education already had before, it's becoming worse. And yeah, people are not responding to their professors anymore. I know I'm not the only one having done that.
Yes.
So
I agree with that.
Yeah. So yeah, we're in front of a problem, which is how to continue the learning process, how to ensure, even with such crisis, with lockdowns, we continue to learn. So let's see who's responsible of the learning process.
Okay.
So on one side, we have the institutions that are responsible of the educational system itself. So yeah, they're responsible of making it well, they're responsible of making it to prepare the next generations to have an evolution. So this is their responsibility, to make sure the next generations will be better. And on the other side, you have you. And on a personal level, no one is going to be responsible in your place of your learning. Correct. So this is what I want to say. It's you must own your learning. If no one cares if you attain your goals or not. So if you don't do it, you're not going to attain.
So your point is, okay, we may be in a school system that's a little bit so boring, disinteresting, but that is still not an excuse for us to stop there. Correct? Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
You have to take responsibility. You have to take responsibility and then step forward. Go to the library, go to the Google, gather as much information as you can.
Because no one is going to come at your home and tell you, okay, you must study. No, it's your responsibility. No one cares if you study or not. No one cares if you learn or not. So it's for your own, for your personal good. I mean, it's for yourself.
It's for your own benefit. Understood. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay, continue.
So yeah. So now, what's the solution to continue learning even during pandemic, even during prolonged absences? So I think we must have innovation in the educational system. We need to make the educational system push people to take ownership of their learning, and we need it to be more adapted to people. And on the other side, yeah, we have you as a person. To continue learning, you must be responsible of your learning. So we're going to see first what innovation can we bring to the educational system, what needs to be upgraded. And on the other side, I'm going to give you a lot of tips on how to study at home and how to take ownership of your learning.
Okay, perfect. That's what everyone needs.
Okay, so we're going to talk about institutions first. Here is a picture in the 1800s.
Okay.
As you can see, of school. And here is a picture of school today. So as you can see, it absolutely didn't change. Why? I don't know. I mean, Yeah, the whole world evolved and everything changed literally.
Except for the system.
Yeah, except for the system, everything literally changed. Like we don't have the same interactions, we don't have the same tools, we don't live the same way, we don't exchange the same way, we don't share information and goods the same way. So everything changed. Only school, I don't know why. Yeah, so
it's the type of question where students can't have an answer to that question. Why isn't the system changing?
Yeah.
But never mind.
So
continue.
How can institutions improve their system to keep everyone involved and responsible of their learning process? So Jim Rohn said, formal education will take you survive. Self-education will lead you to success. So we all have a different definition of success. For me, success may not be the same than for you, success. I don't have the same ambitions. We don't have the same ambitions. We don't have the same goals in life. So for you, success may be having a good job and living a good life. For me, success may be living alone, I don't know, in the nature. For someone else, it could be traveling, I don't know. So what he's saying is that you must, if you don't take ownership of your learning, if you don't take it as a tool, as an asset to lead you to your goals, you're not going to attain your goals. So you must be responsible of your learning because no one is going to be in your place. And you are, at the end, you need it. You need it. Like,
yes.
you are
like
going
just
to be the one.
Person, one individual, just you're like one mind. You only, since you are just one mind, if there was another person with your mind, exact clone, then I think those two people can share responsibility and remind each other. But there's no such thing as that. What you're trying to say, there's only one mind, and only you can take control of your entire progress for your future.
Yeah, and this is your future. This is your life. I mean, no one is going to live your life in your place. So no one is going to do the job in your place. So you must learn for yourself first.
Okay.
Yeah. So the problem now is that the education system is made only for one kind of person. It's like you study at high school, and then you have the best grades possible to get the best university possible. And then you study, and then you get your diploma, and you try to get the best job possible, and then you work to hope to have an increase in your salary. And then, yeah, that's it. But for some people, it may be okay because they like this stability of life.
Yes.
But for other people, not everyone is the same, of course. So for other people, they have other ambitions. Maybe for some people, it may be earning a lot of money. For other people, it may be having a lot of diplomas. I don't know. So
it's called. Is it called a rat race? Is that what you're trying to say? Rat race.
What I'm trying. I don't know rat race.
Oh, no, rat race. You know, rats and race.
No, I don't know.
Okay, rat race is basically a term that says it's a competition, but in a world that has like a 9-to-5 job, who gets the highest position? Higher position tends to.
Yeah, there is this also. There is this also, and the system is made to make us being in this system, to being part of this system. And now that the world is changing so quickly, I mean, like before, for the world to change, we used it used to take maybe 100 of years, and now with internet and all the information tools and stuff, it may take only 10 years. So what I'm trying to say is that, like, the world is not the same anymore, and we cannot expect to have the same thing in 10 years. So I think, in my opinion, we need to learn more concrete things at school, so we can see how we can use them, how we can use what we learn. And remember, when you see what you learn, when you see why we learn it, it's always easier to learn it. So yeah, the other side is people that know what they want, but they cannot, they don't like, this is actually my situation, they don't agree to the way it's teaching. So we don't all have the same way of learning. We're all so different, and they are teaching us the same way. Everyone is learning the same way, and on a passive way, it means that we're not actors of our learning. At school, we're like, we receive, and that's it. There is no no emotion evolved. There is no experience. We don't go to search the information, and so we are not in the experience, and we're not in the I'm going for the information. I'm the actor of my learning. So no, we're just watching our learning, and that's it. And I think this is a big problem. And I think if everyone becomes an actor of his learning, first of all, you're going to remember more what you learned, and secondly, you're going to be obviously more people are going to learn. Yeah, and I think also in the education system, we should give more choice to students, because when you make a choice, obviously you make the choice, so you decide, so you become more responsible of your learning. Yeah, and the last point is the fact that the system is not encouraging creativity, and creativity is actually so important for us, for problem solving, for innovation. It's a brain gymnastic that you can train, and if you don't train it, it's like a muscle. You're not going to be that creative. And if you see all the geniuses that we had in the world, like, they're all so creative. They came up with ideas. You're like, oh my God, how did they think about this? Creativity is so important. And by creativity, everyone is different, you know. So we also, through creativity, we also encourage people not to be the same. We encourage diversity, we encourage differences. And in my opinion, this is so important. So yeah, to finish, we have so many tools. We have so many tools that we today that we don't use, and it means so much potential that we don't use. And so yeah, there is so much innovation that we can have in this area. So now let's talk about the personal efforts you can do. Yeah, how we can take ownership of our learning and be more effective while studying at home.
Okay.
So now the system
is the tips you're about to give, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. So now we have a system education, and we must live it. And so we're not going to watch it and that's it. We must take ownership of our learning if we want to succeed in life. So I think the first step that we should do is like loving what we're doing. And you're going to tell me it's not that easy, but actually I believe we can learn anything if we devote time, interest, and care to what we're doing. It means, for example, if you don't like cooking, the fact of trying to be interested in cooking, changing your mindset, approach, to whatever you're about to learn, it's so important. You should try to be interested in cooking, and then give it a bit of time and attention. It's like you try to do it well, and then at the end you have something good. You come up with something delicious, and so I don't think you're not going to be happy of eating it. And when you have a rewarding at the end, when you're happy of what you've done, obviously you're going to be more likely to like what you're doing. So what I'm trying to say is that
the sense of achievement is going to push us to continue it. Is that what you're trying to say?
No, what I'm trying to say is actually the fact of giving interest, not being open to the learning. It means like not saying, okay, I don't like it and that's it, I'm not going to do it. It's actually, you shouldn't tell yourself, okay, I don't like it, even if
you should tell yourself that, oh, I want to learn how to do it. Are you trying to say that?
Let me see what is the interesting thing in this. Like everything has a potential and everything has something you can learn of. And yeah, I think you can give interest to anything. You can like at least a little bit anything if you give it time.
It's progress.
Interest.
What if okay? What if I said that? Okay, sometimes when we do things and then we find it hard, we're gonna be like, I'm not gonna do it anymore because it's so difficult. No. What if someone wants to do something because they enjoy the process? Is that what is that also applicable to what you're trying to say?
Yeah, of course. And whatever you do, there isn't only one way to do it. So it means try to make whatever you're doing enjoyable, at least a little bit. So if this thing is hard, maybe the fact of talking about it with a friend, and for some people, for me, for example, I enjoy when it's hard. I enjoy like the fact that, oh my God, I need to find the solution. I'm like, oh, I need to find the solution. I enjoy it, but some people don't. So maybe when you talk about it with a friend, or you search, or you and after all the efforts, you say, okay, oh, this is like, you should. I'm not saying you can love everything, but you can at least like a little bit things, like not being closed in your mind and say, okay, no, I'm not liking this thing. It's
basically
just,
see the
like,
bright side of things, the bright side of the
exactly.
hardships.
Yeah, and there's not like you have the choice at the end, like you have to do it. So it's better to do it while you like it than to do it while you don't like it. You understand?
Understand.
Yeah, so now let's talk about productivity and the power of habits. Yeah. So what I was going to say. Yeah, so some people, when they study, they rush a lot. Like they study, and then they stop. They feel guilty. And then they study, and then they stop for a long time. They feel guilty. And then they study, and at the end they get tired, and they're like, oh, school is not for me. Yeah. And so there are other people that are more constant. So here the girl is representing your emotional side of your brain, and the elephant is your rational side of your brain. And we all have an emotional and rational side of our brain, and the rusher is using actually the rational side of your brain. But emotion is responsible of what is about enjoyment, emotions, being in living the thing. And I think they must go together. Like, as you can see, the girl cannot move on ahead without the elephant. So they must go together. Maybe they're not going to go that fast. But if you take the good habits, taking habits is so important. If you are constant in what you're doing, at the end, like, you must arrive to a result. Like, this A plus A equal B. Like, you cannot be constant and have no result. Like, if you're constant, at the end you must have a result. And so if you're constant, you take breaks, you take good habits, for example, but like, it's not too much habits. It's like you take the right habits for you. It means, for example, working a little bit every day, not too much, with breaks, with moments of relaxation, with moments of enjoyment. And like every day, we continue and we're constant. And if we take the right habits, I think it's the key for a long-term success.
Understood.
Yeah. So by this way, we try to make it more fun and to make it more constant.
Okay.
So now let's talk about strategy, goals, and organizations.
All right.
So yeah. Yeah, so to study, to have results at the end, you must have a strategy. As you can see, f of x equal a times x. Yeah, x is the effort the work you're going to have to like the work you're going to do, and a is your strategy. And so if, for example, if you work, some people, they do that. They work so much, they have no results. Maybe you don't have the right strategy. Maybe you're not doing it the good way. Maybe your work is not efficient because you didn't think about a strategy to make it easier, to make it more efficient, effective, and to attain your goal more easily and more rapidly, more fastly. So yeah, I think the strategy is really important, and the habits you're going to take are part also of the strategy. Like what habits I'm going to take, what life I'm going to live, how I'm going to attain this goal, how I'm going to study for it, what is the best way to do it, and to what is the most intelligent way to see this subject and to learn the most fastly this subject, and trying maybe to understand, if you have a test, to understand what are we going to ask ourselves, what are they going to ask us. So to understand, to put yourself in maybe in the teacher shoes, to understand what exactly you must know. So you have different strategy. What I'm trying to tell you is like, think about how you can do it the most efficiently and effective way possible.
Okay.
Yeah, and then the second step is like setting short-term and long-term goals and to challenge yourself. So no, this is so yeah, if you remember, we talked about challenge, curiosity, goal, interest, motivation, things that make you learn. And if you have a goal, if you have a challenge, if you know why you're studying, it's going to give you motivation to study, and it's going to be more easy for you. So when I talk about setting a precise short-term and long-term goals, it's like it may be for short term, it may be, okay, I need today to learn this exactly. And long term, it may be okay, for example, if you want to lose weight, you're not going to say, okay, I'm just going to lose weight. You're going to say, okay, I'm going to lose maybe 20 kilos. You understand? So it's being precise in your goals, and yeah. And then challenge yourself. This one is like, you shouldn't, when you choose your challenge, choose a low enough challenge to be doable. So when you choose your goals, choose them like low enough to make them doable, and high enough to be challenging. So yeah, don't choose not attainable goals. Like, it may be possible, it has to be possible, so you don't stop and say yourself, okay, it's too hard. Know yourself, try to know yourself and to set your goals knowing yourself. And don't put too easy goals, because it's not going to be challenging. It's not going to motivate that much you.
Understood.
Yeah, so the next step, of course, it's being organized.
Be organized.
Yeah. Make to-do lists. Yeah, to-do list is like my whole life. I'm always making lists, even if 2 times. Yeah, I have like hundreds of lists, and I don't even read them at the end.
I always have my phone with me. I always open my phone. Always, there's just something in my phone that has a list that's not completed yet. So is my notebook. It's just packed with lists. But at the same time, it's just so useful. I cannot live without it.
Exactly. It's the same, I swear. And yeah, make to-do lists is so important. Make you know what you have, being conscious of exactly what you have to do, what you don't have to do, so you have more, so you master, you handle more, you have more tools to master exactly your learning, like to know exactly, master your time, thinking, feeling that you're handling your time.
Yes, understand.
Yeah. So in your to-do list, it's important to classify them as urgent and important. So obviously you're going to do the urgent and important ones first. So you don't start by the not important things and then you find yourself at the last minute just before maybe you have a quiz or just before the quiz to study. And then you're like, oh my God, I should have done that before. No, you should know in advance and classify. It's so important. Make to-do list with classified things. Okay, I'm going to do this first, secondly, third. And yeah, I think it's so important.
Is this the type of list that you do?
Yeah, I always try to, like, I make a list always, like I have a board then there.
Okay.
Yeah, I make a list and then I put 1, 2, 3, like the most important, the most urgent things to do.
Is this your formula? Did you?
No, it's not my formula, of course.
Oh,
no.
okay.
It's I forgot the name of the one who invented this. It's matrix.
Cool.
It's a matrix of I forgot.
Oh, okay. Understandable. I understand. I think I'll be using that tip. I need that. I never thought of separating my list into quadrants. I never thought of that.
Yeah. And so, yeah, it's very useful to know what to do first and to be more strategic in what you're going to do. So it helps you to make short-term and long-term plans, what things you're going to do now, what things you're going to do in 2 months. So, yeah.
Okay.
And then fighting procrastination. I know I'm not the only one it's my whole life, like procrastination. I'm always yeah, I'm always fighting against procrastination. So the first tip I'd like to give you is like talk about your goals around you. It's like the fact of talking about your goals it makes you obliged to do them, because then like you're not credible anymore to the people you talked with. So try your people, don't tell to anybody, but try trustful people, but people that have enough influence to make you feel
empowered, like motivated. Chase it.
It's like, okay, I taught this person, and if I don't do it, this person is going to think, okay, you understand? Like, try to play with this. The second rule is the 2 days rule. It's like when you take a habit, never miss 2 days. Miss this habit to continuous days. I don't know if I'm clear. It's like
start again.
Yeah, it's like maybe you missed your habit for 1 day. The second day you must not miss it, because then your brain is not going to take you seriously. It's going to take okay, you're not serious about this. So if you miss this, if you missed it one time, make sure that the second time you're not going to miss it.
Oh, is there like a scientific fact behind that?
Yeah, I think I'm not sure, but I think, but it works.
This is based on research, what you research.
Yeah. Like some people say that. I didn't take it myself. I didn't invent it.
Okay.
The next thing is like learn the art of simplifying everything. Actually, it's before everything you're going to do, you have a list of small steps you have to do before to start. And so simplifying everything means
make it easy for you.
Reducing all the small steps that you need to do before starting this. So
okay.
you understand? So before starting
yes.
studying, for example, it's like you have to open your laptop, you have to take your book, you have to take your course, you have to find the page, you have to open
okay.
your bag to take your pen, and you have to find which website is it. So you understand? If you
yes.
or maybe at night you've prepared everything already, open your laptop and start. You understand?
That is actually really useful because every time I want to do work, I look over my table from the bed. I'm like, it's empty, and that just kind of makes me not want to do anything. Because that, like what you said, the really tiny steps, taking out your stuff, plugging in the charger, taking out your pen, all that, is very useful. I didn't know that, honestly.
Yeah, and there's actually a scientific fact. Like this is what they what applications are used. If you notice, social media, it's so much easy to go to social media. It's like sometimes I open my phone and I on my phone and I go to Instagram. I don't even realize I go to Instagram. I open Instagram. I don't even realize it, but I'm there and I'm like wasting 1 hour of my time. And I'm like, oh my God, how is it possible? It's like they reduced as maximum the starting friction you have. It's like all the steps you have to do before starting. Like if you notice, you don't have to log in anymore. You don't have to write your password anymore.
Right.
You just have to enter and try and start. And then like they, for example, Snapchat, like the fact that it's yellow is like attracting your attention. So when you open it, it's like you see it and you go directly and you don't even think. You understand? And so yeah, it's also a tip for starting to trying not to waste your time on activities you know are going to waste your time. So trying to add starting friction, to add steps before doing them. So maybe if you have a TV and you're used to open your TV just like that, take the remote, hide it, remove the electricity for your the TV, like add steps for you to start it, and you'll see it's going to be, we're all lazy, I swear. So yeah, and the next thing is like, don't be too perfectionist. Just do it. Like for some things, for example, before starting a project, you're like, oh my God, I need to do this needs to be perfect for me to start. No, just start. Just do your thing and don't think too much.
Understood.
So yeah, the next tip is like reward yourself. Like this, for example, you can work. Reward yourself to have motivation, to be motivated to, like you did an effort and you're going to reward yourself. It's important. And then, as I said, like don't think too much, just start. I know I'm not the only one to be like this. Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, so just start. Like that's it. Yeah. And hide your phone. I forgot it. Yeah, and the next thing is like try the 5-second rules. The 5 seconds rule.
Oh, this one.
Yeah.
I know Robin. I think the 5-second rule is where when you wake up from the bed, you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and get up.
Yeah, it's an example. Yeah, she's actually a psychologist, and she said, how your brain works. It takes 5 seconds for your brain to tell you. Sorry, for your brain to tell you to think that it's risky. No, to say that it's risky, to analyze the situation, to say, okay, it's too risky for you. You should not do it. It's actually the way you survive, like your surviving sense.
Survival instincts.
Yeah, for example, it may be, okay, you're afraid of talking in public and you have something to say, but you're afraid. And like 5 seconds, your brain doesn't have the time to tell you, okay, it's too risky, don't do it. So if you want to fight this, and if you know that it's obviously not risky, you just 1, 2, 3 and get up, do it.
Okay.
Like 1, 2, 3 and go study. 1, 2, 3 and wake up from the bed. So you understand? It's very useful, and it works for the wake up from the bed. It works. I tried it.
So you definitely did that, did you?
Yeah. And yeah, I think it's very important to have a healthy lifestyle, having a good routine, sleep well, sleep enough, eat well. We don't especially realize, but it has a lot of impact on your mood. Especially for me, the fact of sleeping. If I don't sleep, I swear I have a terrible mood. I'm not a good person to stay with, and I'm not.
I would be very tired the entire day. I'd be very tired the entire day, and I couldn't even study and everything like that just because of not sleeping properly.
Exactly, and so sleeping properly during is the same for training. Having a sport, doing sports is so important. It makes your mood better. It gives you more energy. You're more focused in what you do, and so we don't especially see it, but it's the small things that really there is a difference. Try not to do sport for 1 month, and try to at the end to compare. Try to do sport for 3 times a week, and you're going to see the difference. How much energy you have in comparison. And yeah, this one is really interesting. Create a studying environment and atmosphere, and yeah, it's hard to do, but when you do it, it's like really intelligent. Actually, it's like having a specific place with specific. It's actually taking the habit of being in a specific environment to study. So your brain will take the habit of being in this place to study. So when you're going to this place to study, your brain is going to put itself naturally in a study mode. Like maybe you have a special place where you used to study with a special music, with a special maybe I don't know. There is a color that you see, or a light, a special light. And it's a whole mood that you create, and a whole environment and atmosphere that you create. Make sure that this place you always only work in. Like if you feel that you cannot work anymore, you just go out of this place. Don't stay, take your breaks in this place. So your brain understands that this place is only and only for studying and only for being efficient.
I understand that very well.
Yeah,
I'm sorry to cut you off, but it works the same as artists. You know how artists, they like to put maybe plants at the side.
Yeah.
Yes, you put plants on top of the shelves. As me, I love to sketch. I always do sketching, or maybe I like to do dancing. So dancing, for example, I would put headphones on. I would change my attire. I would put different lightings. It sets the mood, and my brain is ultimately like, okay, let's dance. And then another one is when you want to sketch. Definitely, I'll put calming music. I will also take the lights, open the windows, have my pen. So creating a studying environment works the same just as that. And I also did not realize that. Turns out I've been doing that the entire time. But now that you mention it, it's very eye-opening.
Yeah, and like it's really important, especially like it's hard to do it, but especially when the days you just can't study, and you're just sitting at your desk and you're here but you don't study. Just in this kind of moments, don't stay in this place, because it's going to
break.
Yeah, to break completely
the momentum.
Yeah, so this place must be for being efficient. And so when you sit there, your brain is automatically going to be in a study mode.
Understood.
Yeah. The next tip is influence yourself and remember your goals. Even though you must motivate yourself, you're alone. You must remember, write down your goals, make them in front of you, maybe see them always, so you remember that you want this so much, so you continue to do it. And influence, it's like the first, then try to love what you're doing. It's like you can influence yourself. You can influence for yourself for anything. What you think must not stay like this. You can change what you think. You can change. You cannot. This is like the same as you cannot change your emotions, but you can change your thoughts. And your thoughts have an impact on your emotions. And so you can, by changing your thoughts, by having maybe a more positive way of thinking, mindset, being more open. I don't know, changing just the way of you think, your thoughts. It may change your emotions as well. So you can influence yourself. Don't think that's it because you don't like it, just you don't like it, or just because you think that way, that's it. No, it's all in your mind and you can change it.
That's one of the many common things of these webinars. Webinar 1, webinar 2, and 3, they all talk about the same thing. It's all up to your mind.
Yeah, exactly. So, and the last one is like, don't kill yourself. Just when you cannot, I swear there are days you just cannot study. Maybe you need a break. Maybe you don't see it, but you need a break. So take breaks. Don't kill yourself. Be nice with yourself, and yourself will be nice with yourself.
It was really random, you know. The reason why I kind of chuckled just now was everything was nice. All of a sudden, don't kill yourself. But that makes sense. I understand that, because there are those days where you just be like, I'm tired of this.
This is not possible to be perfect every time. This is not possible to be good every time.
People tend to forget that. It's all okay. We're supposed to screw up. We're supposed to flop. We're supposed to be stagnant. Like the chart is supposed to go up and down, up and down. I tend to forget that.
Yeah, it's a constant effort. You must you must listen to yourself, to your emotions, and be nice with yourself. Like you listen. Like as I said, it's a balance between your emotional side and your rational side. So try to be balanced. Try to listen to yourself and try to go along with. And it's a constant effort. It's a constant effort in trying to be balanced. And it takes time, but yeah.
Okay.
So that's it for this one. And now the conclusion. So this is, if you want more information about the learning process in this kind of period, lockdown and stuff, so you can screenshot if you're interested.
Okay.
And yeah. So to respond to the question, how to ensure continuity of learning during prolonged absences, dismissal, and closure.
Okay.
So on one side, for the educational system, we have the innovation. And actually, I talked about it because like maybe now we don't have, especially don't have the power to change it, but we are the future generations and we are the future actors of society. And it's out of our responsibility to start thinking about new possibilities, new solutions for the future ones, to make the future better and still better and better, and to continue to evolve. And maybe the problems that we have today, to try to fix them. And we should, so maybe you as a person, when you have the opportunity to change this, but just do it. And and on the other part is like, it's really, really important. If you want to succeed in life, take responsibility of your learning and own it. Take it as an asset, as a tool to use. It's your tool. Use it to attain your goals and to be successful.
Utilize
in
it.
life. Yeah.
Understood. Okay.
So thank you for your attention.
All right. Nice. That's very interesting. That was so useful. You really went from the explanation, and then after that, the tips, the conclusion. You even answered the topic itself. So it's very detailed. I really like that topic. The entire time I was just listening. I'm going to do a lot of those tips that you recommended, because I just noticed that whatever tips that you gave is the thing that I'm doing and I don't even notice that. So it's tip top. Thank you very much for your insight. Okay, so now we're going to head for the Q&A session. So first and foremost, I would like the audience to please lay down all the questions that you would like to have Lina to answer. As you can see, Lina, she seems very knowledgeable, educated. She does her research. She has a detailed presentation. So any questions, you may leave in the comment down below. I will ask on behalf of you. Okay, while we wait for the questions from the audiences, I have some set of questions for you. Okay?
Sure.
Okay. First question. What is the best way to ensure learning with poor people?
Yeah, I think the problem with now with lockdown and stuff, that it's easy to talk about all the people that can learn and take ownership of their learning process, but it's kind of hard to think about really these poor children that cannot go to school now. They cannot walk kilometers anymore to go to school because the school is closed. And so I think it's the responsibility actually now of the government to give tools to these children and to give tools to everyone to kind of try to make everyone the same and to have equality between people. So giving the tools, maybe giving books with all the courses so they can learn alone, maybe giving for other people, for other countries, or it may be giving internet and laptops to these families that are struggling. I know that some organizations do this, like they collect all the computers, the already used computers that other organizations don't use anymore, or other families don't use anymore, and they give it to these people. So what I'm trying to say is, like, it's I think it's the government's responsibility to do that, and also people to try to make efforts too.
Understood. Okay. So should we move on to the next question?
Yes.
Okay. Next question. Do you think it's a disadvantage for the people that's like diploma graduates or already have their important exam to find jobs during this unstable period?
Yeah, I think as the world is changing now, like if you notice more and more and more, like the jobs, when you apply for a job, they ask more and more about the things you're doing besides school. It's like, okay, you have your degree, but what are you doing beside? What is your experience? And so I think the more we go ahead, the more it's important to have a diversified learning. So as I told you, always take ownership of your learning. So you can put it in light when you're going to apply for a job.
Understood.
And on the other side, other people may see it as, okay, we survived to this pandemic. It was a hard period, and we have to. And it was a hard period, and it was harder for us even to study and to continue the learning. And if I succeeded, it was harder for me than for the previous generations when everything was okay. So as a person, you can, if you have problems, you can put this in light and say, okay, no, it wasn't easier, it was harder, we were dealing with other issues, it was a crisis, everything changed, and still I had my degree, and still I learned, and still I'm here.
Very good answer. Okay, we have one question from Asrul Izwan. How to make a new generation focus to reach their goals? Many of them still searching or don't know their goals.
Yeah, it's very hard to do that. Like, I think it's your environment that have to, like, you must put yourself in a good environment as a person, because we always say you are the people that are around you, you are going to become like them. So, for example, if you stay with rich people, you're more likely to be rich in your future. And it's not because they have money, it's just because of their mindset, because of how they became rich, how they think. And you, as you talk with them, and you kind of become like them. And so choose very well the people you stay with, because it's going to have, even unconsciously, an impact on the way you think and the way you take life. And if you stay with positive people, you're more likely to become positive. If you stay with bad, like negative people, you're more likely to, like, always receive negative energy. And yeah, I think it's step by step. It takes time, but it's step by step. You must try every time to find your goal, to know yourself, to try to know what you like, what you don't like, in order to kind of imagine how it's going to be your life in the future. So how you want your life to be in the future, how you really want it to be. So you make goals, you make an ideal life that you want, and then you make a strategy to how you're going to reach it. And step by step, you become better, and you understand the importance of the learning, and you understand what you have to learn for your future, for the future you're trying to make. So yeah, I think it's all about a personal process that you have to do, and the people. So if you know people that are kind of lost, try to help them, try to talk with them. Maybe you don't see it, you're not going to see it, they're not going to show you, but maybe even one word can make the difference. So try to be nice with people, try to always help people, people. And so maybe all together we can become better and reach our goals. I hope.
Understand. In relation of okay, one question is out again by Shiva Kumar. Well, what would be the best self-reward for a person?
It's actually rewards.
It depends.
Yeah, it depends. Yeah, of course it depends. Actually, the problem with rewards, like the problems I encountered, it's the fact that I take the reward without finishing my work.
Oh yeah, it's like that one picture that you show inside one of your slides. There's books and slip with chocolates. I mean, okay, it's there, but I could just take it, you know.
Yeah, this is 100% like what I would do. So I think one thing could be okay, maybe you have training and you have an exam tomorrow, so you must finish before your training. Because me, I'm training, but I'm so in love with my training. It's like I wouldn't miss any session. So for me, it's like I must go. So if, for example, maybe for you it may be going out with friends, but so now it's kind of hard to go out with friends. But like doing something that you can do only if it really depends. It really depends. Like trying to, you as you know yourself, if you're going to, like for example me, if I put chocolate in front of me, I'm so in love with chocolate, I'm going to eat it directly. So maybe the fact of putting the chocolate giving the chocolate to my sister and tell her, okay, you give it to me only if I do this. So yeah, it's maybe an idea.
Okay, so I have one last question for you. This is actually my personal question. Okay, I do a lot of things that doesn't really relate to my course, but it also relates to my course. I like to do arts, and I like to express feelings in the form of art. Okay, so you always said that we need to, there's a one formula that says interest plus care, time plus interest plus care, right?
Yeah.
What if you lose interest, but you still love to do something, but you lose interest in it? When you do something, it feels, it doesn't have that spark again, but you still want to do it. And you don't want to give up on it. How do people like that? How do people rejuvenate that spark again? It gets really sad. It gets really depressing to see what you love to do is not like what you did before.
Yeah, it's actually what the depressed people feel. And this is why it's so hard for them, because it's easy for us to say, okay, we should think like this. We should, me, if I feel that something is not good, I'm always going to have this idea of we continue pushing, we don't lose hope. But like actually, when you don't have spark anymore, it's really hard to, when you lose the taste of the things, it's like,
you lost the
you don't want to do it anymore.
Yes.
And so it's actually how to refine, to refine this taste and to refine this. So I'm not a psychologist, so I'm not going to give you the best solution ever. But I think the time you put on the things, if you really want to continue, for example, me, I have I'm playing piano, but like I really love piano, and I used to love playing piano, but I don't have the time anymore, so I don't play anymore, and I'm kind of losing interest in it. But I still have this idea of, okay, I want to become a virtuoso in the piano. I'm absolutely not, but like I want to become like this, but like still I lost a little bit of interest.
The passion.
Yeah, so but I think the key is to put time on it, like to try to refine this.
Try to do what you love in a different way, maybe. Because
maybe.
Because the roots of what made me interested before was a different motivation. So sometimes our motivation can be wrong. Like goals can be anything. Goals can be good and bad. Maybe if your goals was good in the initial, you need to find something better than that. But if your goals were bad, for example, if you like to go do art and all that, but then you do it to impress people, that's honestly very bad. So if any passion, any desire is dead, we need to find a new one. I believe passion don't really die. It's always inside. It's just not sparked.
Try to do the things for the sake of doing it. Like try to find the interest on doing it actually. And maybe sometimes it can help you. Like for example, me, it was easier when I had a professor, like the interaction and like it helped me to keep this spark. And so for other people it may not. For other people it's like planning to do to play to prepare sheet music with another person, like you're doing forehand piano. And it's like try to change the way you can do it. Try to I think it's a lot putting time on it, like giving it time, like taking the time to do the things. It's really important.
All right, so that'll be the last question. So do you have anything else to say, Lina?
No, thank you very much.
Okay. All right, so that would be the last webinar for today. Tomorrow we have another 4 more webinars starting at 9 a.m. with one of our Australian students. She's not Australian, but she studies in Australia. So please stay tuned for that. As for Lina, thank you very much for your presentation. Your very detailed presentation. Thank you for even considering to giving tips to the viewers. It's very informative. I hope we can still keep in touch though.
Thank you for your attention, and thank you for having me. And
of course.
Thank you, Camelia, also.
Yeah, I had a great time discussing with you as well.
Yeah, me too. Thank you.
Okay. All right, so stay tuned for tomorrow's conference, and we will see you again at 9 a.m. tomorrow.